Well, as you can see, folks, we're still setting up. I was trying to finish chewing so you wouldn't hear me crunching in your ear. Artemis, the delayed, are you able to talk while you drive, or am I vamping till you get to your house?
I can talk, and I'm only about, I want to say 10 minutes away from my house right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It
Sweet.
sounds like you're in a tin can, but that's to be expected
Yep.
because
It
you
will
are
get
in a
better
tin
when I get to the
can.
house. Y'all better know that I love you. I turned off my AC for you, so you weren't hearing the AC blasting into the microphone.
Oh, we feel your love so much. So, should we just vamp a little or ew,
I mean, we could.
ew. I
Ooh,
like the
what?
look of ew.
Now I gotta know what's going on.
I'm concerned.
Concerned.
Well, you can't see this, so don't look, but I'm going to show the
Nope.
audience. But I'm having a girl lunch.
Girl
Okay.
dinner.
I
Girl
had
dinner.
I bought one of those small plates things. This is just the lid from it. I already ate it. But it's a Hillshire small plate. It's got dry salami, little toasted cracker rounds that look like toast, and little bits of Gouda cheese. So I don't have to cut anything up. It's all cut up and everything, and I can just eat it. And
I love a charcuterie board.
I got it specifically for today. Figured that would be a good quick thing to eat right before we started. And with it, I was in the mood for some fruit other than bananas. I get bananas every week for the potassium because of cramps in my legs. So I get bananas every week, but in addition to that, I was in the mood for a different fruit. Last week I had fruit cups, but this week I saw these sliced apples with caramel. And I thought, "Oh, that looks good." And I got 2 of them, and I got one out of the refrigerator, and the top of it, I don't know if you can see it, audience, not you because 'cause you're driving, but the top of
I
it
nothing.
is tight and bubbly. It's got, like, plastic over the top, and the top over the apples is tight and bubbly, and I was always taught if something was, like, bulging out, that's not good. Although the
Yeah, it's
date
like
on it says
because it's like it's
November
molding and like releasing gases and stuff.
yeah, although the date on it is November 4th, so it's supposed to be good, but I'm concerned about this top got tighter since I took it out of the refrigerator.
I don't trust it.
It wasn't this tight when I took it out of the refrigerator, and then I just now picked it up, and it's not I know it's like 80 degrees outside today, but we've got the air bumping in here, so it's not hot in here, but the caramel part in the cup part, I just picked it up, and it looks liquid.
Ew.
Caramel is
Why
not
is it
supposed to be liquid.
right?
So now I'm scared to open it, but I think I will anyway, but I don't know if I'm gonna eat it.
I
We're gonna
don't trust
open
it.
it.
Open it for the adventure. Do not eat it.
Oh, and the top of the caramel feels tight too. This thing better not explode when I open it. I got fruit cups last week, and
Mhm.
I like fruit cups. I like that over getting like the canned fruit, but they don't play when they put that juice in there. I know you don't eat fruit cups,
There's
but
so much juice. I do like fruit
so
cups.
much
Well, I
juice.
like fruit cups with pineapple in them. I'll
Yeah.
usually get like a Jello cup with fruit in it.
I thought, well, let me just be healthy and just get the fruit. And I got like a box with 12 cups in it, because I share with your brother. And
Mhm.
it had, it had one that was all oranges, mandarin oranges, one that was all pineapple, one that was, different fruits or whatever. but every time I had to like hold the cup and like I finally figured out that if I tilted it to where the air bubble was at the edge and then really slowly lifted it
Mhm.
just enough and then put it up to my mouth and sucked half the juice out. That's the only way I could avoid getting juice all over the front of my top.
Which is crazy because that juice is also like straight sugar. That
And
juice is like fruit
but
flavored sugar.
but also those cups, well, I like, yeah, I mean, I get the ones that like they pour apple juice in it or whatever.
Mm.
Not just sugar water. It's like apple juice.
So all the ones that I've ever had, it was straight sugar. It was not. It was like quote unquote juice, but it's
Uh-huh.
straight sugar.
But those cups generally, things like cups and like this are meant for like kids to take for their snack at school.
Yeah,
This is very liquidy looking caramel,
I don't
but
trust it.
it's take for snack at school. But so that kid is going to be at school and they're going to have juice every day all over the front of them because
Yeah,
they're not going to take that cup like I did and ease it open so that they don't. And
yeah, and
even when
like
I eased it open, I got juice all over myself. It is crazy. Yes, Ronald,
shenanigans.
she is driving and streaming at the same time because
I don't
she
know.
or they or her or it or Z.
Not it. Ooh, not Z either. I was okay until we got to it and Z. No, not at all. I do not vibe with it. If you choose it or Z, go ahead. I know some people that use it and Z. That is not for moi.
That is not your ministry.
That is
But
not. That is not what the Lord placed upon my heart.
but they are devoted content creators. I, however, am not a content creator, and we will talk about that later.
Okay.
But when we get closer, but I before I put the banner up, I think I'm going to take a chance on this apple because
Don't do it. It's a
It looks like a Granny
trap.
Smith. It smells okay.
The apple is a trap. You're gonna bite into it. And it's gonna be fizzy like a pop rock.
No, it's all right. So I'm gonna take a chance
It's
on the
okay.
caramel. Yeah, it's all right. So I'm gonna take a chance on caramel. I don't know why it was bulging like that.
Connect to the Wi-Fi,
I don't know about that caramel.
guys.
I do not know about the caramel. I don't know if you put vanilla in caramel to make caramel, but they put vanilla in this caramel and they put too much.
Ooh.
It's making it taste very. Not only is it vanilla, I feel like it's imitation vanilla because
Oh.
it has a chemical taste. And I'm spoiled because on our last few trips to Mexico, we always bring back the Mexican vanilla, the real stuff with the beans
Mhm.
still in the jar and stuff. That was.
Yeah.
Mm, I said,
Can I see
so
this chat on my
Ronald,
phone?
since we're turning this into a mukbang until you get in the door, Ronald had a salad with apple and pecans in it.
Ooh, nice. Also,
He
not
said,
Ronald saying y'all are always a little chaotic.
"Oh, I was wondering if you saw that comment. I was about to read it."
Yeah, I pulled up the comments, but y'all about to see my whole house because I'm about to make some chicken tenders. I'm hungry. I've not eaten today.
Ronald, I do this on purpose. I made a choice. because the first couple times we did this, I was like, okay, we're not going to turn it on until we are completely ready. And that means sometimes we started at 2:30, sometimes we started at 3:30. You know,
Sometimes maybe we change the time so we can start at 11 a.m. so that we don't have to worry about me being late.
I mean, we were all over the place, and I decided several streams ago we're starting at 2:30 no matter what. If you see me in here halfway brushing my hair, we're still doing it 2:30.
That's how
You
we
know,
roll. We're dedicated.
we're dedicated. Just because Artemis is a content creator, she needs that dedication.
I really don't. I just like talking with my mom and Ronald.
Well, you can talk to me without us being on YouTube. You're the one who said we had to do this on YouTube.
Yeah, but we're also hilarious, and I feel like we need to share that with the world.
I am not hilarious. I am
Maybe
placid.
not, but
I need to stop eating
together
this
we are
caramel because
hilarious.
it's really not good. I should just eat the apples and skip
Then
the caramel.
stop.
I can't
What are
help
you
myself. It's
doing?
there, so I feel like I should eat it.
I've got today. We're having all these chicken tenders going into the air fryer. I do not even know what brand this is. I just know that Wayne picked up some chicken tenders.
Did you say they were from Aldi?
Yes.
Okay, then they're probably good. All the chicken products we've gotten from Aldi, like the chicken patties and stuff like that, they're good. So you should enjoy them.
Okay, that's good. And I cannot see the chat if you're up on the phone. So just let me know if Ronald says any more hilarious things or questioning our character for driving and making chicken tenders.
Ronald said next week's tagline, Danny the food poisoned.
No, I told you not to eat that caramel.
I'm stopping the caramel. I only ate it on one of my apple wedges. I'm stopping the caramel. I'm just eating
So
the
much.
apple because I need fruit.
Okay. Chicken tenders are in the air fryer. You want to go ahead and throw up the banner while I'm getting switched over to the laptop?
I eat fruit more than I eat candy these days.
This is a mess. This is fully just a mess.
Well, I'm
Okay.
trying not to crunch in people's ears, so I was trying to wait till I finish this apple. So
Ooh,
finish setting up. I got one and a half wedges, and then I'll be ready.
1.5 wedges. Chloe, cut this out. I
I
am
was just thinking about that the other day. Chloe should be cutting out if she was doing any editing, which she's not. But if she was doing any editing, she should be cutting out all this stuff
the whole beginning before you put up
before
the
the
tag.
banner. Before the banner, she should be cutting all that out.
All right. Ooh, good thing my phone didn't die. I did not have my charging cord with me.
What happened to my bag? Oh, I don't want to have
This
to put
is
it.
the before the stream.
Mm.
Okay. Let's get connected up onto the television. What is this? Okay, what is this? Okay, minimize this. Then I need to open up the Google Keep, and I am absolutely gonna have to walk away for a minute because I've got a potty.
Why are you doing that to me?
Because I just want to test where this is what we call quality testing. We're testing your ability to vamp while I'm gone. We haven't tested it in a while, and so we just need to follow up and make sure that we're doing it right.
We do not want to test my ability to vamp, but okay.
I'm gonna potty.
You
I'm gonna potty,
go.
and then I'm gonna switch to my laptop, and then we can throw up the banner.
Okay, whatever.
I I promise we know what we're doing.
Okay, whatever. So, while Artemis is doing whatever she's doing, That meeting, they told us to wear your favorite hat. Oh my goodness. Wear your favorite hat. What is it with these Zoom meetings? I could see if it was still like the beginning of the pandemic where everybody was trying to keep each other's spirits up and so they were playing games over Zoom and stuff like this. But we're 3 years out. Sports jerseys. What do they think this is? High School Spirit Week? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I think somebody at your company has been reading too many of those articles where they talk about people are not going to the office so they don't know how to foster relationships with each other, that it needs to be more about more than just work. Your whole team is remote. Yeah. So y'all have gotten those articles. Somebody has read those articles because there's those articles about how um people are suffering from isolation, and at the same time they don't know how to, like, if you were in the office, then at the water cooler you talk about, oh, did you watch last week's episode of Devil's Claim or whatever, and did you see what that girl did, and blah blah blah. I haven't watched Devil's Claim yet, by the way, because my husband's not here yet. When he gets back on Sunday, we will probably start watching it next week. But they know that when you're in the office, there's times when you're sitting together at lunch or whatever that you bond over stuff that's not strictly work related. And so they're trying to do that. Devil's Plan. That's what it is. I don't know why I had in my head it was Devil's Claim. Devil's Claim. Devil's Plan. But yeah, my husband will be back from his trip and we will start watching it when he comes back if I can talk him into it. Even if he decides it's not for him, I will probably watch it on my own. I have a few shows that I watch on my own, but he will probably watch it together since it is dubbed, cuz he can't abide by subtitles. It just distracts him too much. And I mean, I understand that. I that's fair. Not everybody can read as quickly as I can or as other people. Some people have just adapted that skill of being able to absorb the subtitles and the things that are going on the screen. And some people can just not split their focus like that. And he's one who can't split his focus like that. So I understand. I get it. I get it. But since I'm still vamping, oh, I just finished listening to a podcast called Crimson Hearts Collide. It was so cheesy. But I'm a person that when I start a story, I have to once get the plot, even if it's really cheesy, I have to kind of continue with it. And so I ended up listening to all 8 episodes. I listened to the first episode. I said, this is not for me. This is cheesy. And I abandoned it. And then I ended up having to come back to it because the story was still in my head and I couldn't get rid of it. Are you ready for the banner, Artemis?
Sure, I'm ready for the banner.
Okay. I don't know what happened to your lighting, but
I'm working on it. We'll figure
oh,
it. Start the banner. Start the
who opened the door? No wonder I'm hot in here. Oh gosh, give me a second. Ugh. Okay, now you sit down before I get up. We can't leave the screen totally blank.
banner. The screen will be completely no one.
That's just irresponsible.
Ronald, entertain the people. Hello. I am trying to see if I can make my lighting better. Because it's just, let's just pretend that we're not fully shenanigans today. Oh, God. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. This is, no, this is also bad. It's just going back up there. And we'll just, oh, no. Yeah, this is the lighting that we got today. I can't do anything about it. Ronald.
Dancing? Who's dancing?
I told Ronald to entertain the people since we were both
Oh, okay.
leaving.
No, I'm sorry about that. I was just trying to figure out why am I getting hot all of a sudden when I have this whole system set up with the air conditioner in your sister's room, and then there's a big fan that sounds like a jet engine in the hallway, and it worked, but the whole system works.
Hmm.
Okay, better than spending $4,000 on repairing the central air when the heat part still works just fine.
Yeah.
So, just for a couple months during the summer, we're not spending that $4,000.
Also, just before you put up the stream, the banner, know that I am gonna have to get up in a moment to go get my chicken tendies.
Okay, so I'll finish telling Ronald about Crimson Hearts Collide then while you go get your chicken tenders.
Well,
But
they're still cooking,
anyway,
so go ahead. Yeah.
but yeah, I so anyway, system works. I was trying to figure out why I started getting hot all of a sudden. I looked up. Apparently, the ghost in this house decided to. I don't know how we have ghosts in this house since this was new construction and we're the only
Exactly.
people who ever lived here. But something decided to come in this house and open the linen closet door, which is in front of your
And yeah,
bedroom
but
door.
blocked.
And so it blocked with that door open, it blocks. So all of a sudden I wasn't getting any air and I couldn't figure out why.
Not the ghost just trying to make you sweat it out.
It's bad enough. I already get nervous when I have to do these things and start having a nervous sweat.
Is that a carnival napkin or is that a washcloth? You start the stream. Put up the banner. We're doing too much. Put up the banner. Chloe, cut this out. Cut it out before Carnival finds us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. I am your hostess with the mostest, Danny.
And I am Artemis. She, they. Not Z. Not it. She, they. You're over here. Sorry.
I'm just she.
She.
I'm just
You're so
she.
she.
Because I am so she.
So she. And we're
I'm
about to
so
lose Ronald. For those of you who don't know, we turn on the live stream at 2:30, but actually don't get started until about 3 o'clock. So if you want to see the pre-stream shenanigans, like me driving in my car,
nervous Ronald because I don't know, just it even though I'm not in public, it feels like I'm in public, and so I get that brief soupçon of anxiety and start to sweat, and then I start talking to y'all and I feel better.
I thought you were nervous because I called you out about that carnival napkin. Why? So ridiculous. So, hello everyone. This is the time when we go through our life updates, and then we'll get to yarny things, and then we'll get to media consumption and everything
We
after
forgot to
which.
tell them who we are.
We said you're like, I'm Danny
we
and I am
are
Artemis.
we
Oh,
are the mukbang without the food. We are your background sound. We are your companion to keep you company while you do chores or ignore boring meetings at your remote workplace.
that
Or
told you to put on your best hat? I'm still trying to figure out what that's about.
that's
Put on your
crazy.
best hat.
Or folding laundry. Trying to ignore your kids running around your ankles driving you crazy. We're there
Doing
for you.
homework.
We're there for you.
We got you.
We got you. And as Artemis said, first up is our life update, where we talk about all the crazy things. And then we get into yarn and then everything else. But before life update, what are we drinking?
I've got Crystal Light lemonade in a Brazil cup.
It's slightly pink. Is it pink lemonade?
Yeah, I had 2 packets of strawberry lemonade and 1 packet of regular lemonade. It's not Crystal Light though. It's True Lemon, which I think they use the like aspartame sugar or something because it's got like a little bit of a A little bit
Aftertaste.
of a taste to it. Yeah,
Hmm.
that makes my tongue not happy.
I am drinking coffee. Folgers coffee, which is weak AF. But I used up all my other coffee, so this is what was left. And I didn't buy more coffee because I don't know what your father wants because he's on keto. And so he's
Oh
being
yeah.
very particular about his coffee. Like for some reason, when he's on keto, he wants stronger coffee than normal. Because he's the one who bought the Folgers, not me.
Mm.
Because I've never liked Folgers. But today's creamer,
Today's
ask
creamer.
ask me what today's creamer is.
What is today's creamer? We need a banner. Chloe, I need you to get pictures of all of these creamers from whatever websites that they come from. And whenever we pull up today's creamer, I want you to do like a who's that Pokemon and then reveal the creamer. So, Mother, what is
You're
today's creamer?
weird. Today's creamer, don't cringe, pumpkin
Pumpkin
spice.
spice? Oh, I knew
Yes.
it.
Now,
As
and
soon as you
but,
said don't cringe, I was like, oh, I know it.
pumpkin spice. Now, don't get it twisted. I am not your basic bitch who's in love with fall.
You're not a PSL
Okay.
girly?
I am not a PSL girly. No. But the thing is that I have always I have always liked cinnamon in my coffee. I've always
Mm.
liked nutmeg in my coffee. Okay. And then the whole pumpkin spice thing came around and everybody went batshit crazy over it. Excuse my language. I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be an adult setting an example here. Everybody goes crazy over the PSLs, and I like on print. You know me. I'm a contrarian. If everybody's going crazy about something, then that immediately makes me back away, even if it's something that
Hmm.
I would probably like. I still haven't watched Downton Abbey yet,
Which
as an
is
as
absolutely
an
within your
example,
wheelhouse.
which is absolutely in my wheelhouse. But so many people were going crazy about it that I just didn't. But I find when I was grocery shopping this week, I was like, you know what? Why am I depriving myself of I looked up again what
Of your
exactly is
tasty PSL.
so no, I was like, what exactly? Because I didn't even try a PSL when they first got popular. But then I was like, what exactly is in pumpkin spice? I kind of know, but let me look it up just to remind myself. And all it is cinnamon and nutmeg and allspice and ginger. All things I like in my coffee. So why am
Hmm.
I denying myself? I put them in separately. Enjoy your meeting, Ronald.
Bye, Ronald. See you after your meeting.
All things that I like in my coffee anyway, so why not just get the creamer? And I got the creamer and it's delicious. But I still stand strong on they don't need to put pumpkin spice in everything.
So, folks, I need you to just come in real close. What you need to know about my mother is that she's not a PSL girly, but she is a hipster. About all of these things, she will, I
I
don't like the thing, but I actually liked it before you liked it. I am older than you, but don't call her old because she hates it when you call her old. But she will enforce that she is older than you and liked the thing probably before you were born. That is all.
I only do that to you guys because you're my children. I
And
don't
now you can do it to the audience.
No, I can't do that to the audience. That would be rude.
So, is that not our vibe?
That's not our vibe.
Anyway,
Our vibe is not rude.
do we have, but like, what
We can
about a
be we can
little
be a little
rude?
bit snarky occasionally, but we're not rude. I don't like people who are serious tip. I don't like listening to podcasts and vlogs and things like that where people are tipping over into being too rude.
Or they're just like assholes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. But so
So,
what's going on in your life, Artemis?
So, you know, because I texted you earlier, I was like, we have a hard out at 4 because I'm trying to make an appointment. And then I texted you again. I was like, never mind, no hard out. And you're like, is that good? And I'm like, yes, that's good because I took care of my appointment. Can you guess what that appointment was, Mother?
I was about to say something really rude, but I won't say that. I have no
Okay,
idea
so
what your, I have
say something not rude.
I have no idea what your appointment was. Was it something to do with your job?
No, look at my face.
I can't see your face because it is dark.
Oh my goodness.
let me make you big. Let me embiggen you. Did you get piercings in your mouth?
I did for the second
Ugh.
time.
Saints preserve us. When will my children stop marking themselves up?
I just did that this morning. Because one of the shops in town, one of the people at my job was like, by the way, such and such is doing $13 piercings tomorrow for Friday the 13th. And so I was like, oh,
This
I can
at
afford
your
that.
new job?
Yes.
Okay, so I guess that means at your new job they don't mind piercings.
Yeah, my manager has like tattoos all down her like arm and stuff. And he said the other manager who told me about the piercings, he's going to get his he was trying to go get his eyebrow pierced.
So since we're in the life update section, let's just segue into this. How are you what's the word I want to use?
Settling in.
Oh, makeup. Makeup. How do they feel about your makeup?
I Okay, so I am easing into it. Starting a job at Halloween is frustrating for me because I'm trying, like, I haven't worn the elf ears yet. Everybody's complimented my hair, and my like the store manager and then also a couple of the other managers have complimented my makeup, but I haven't gone like full on. Like, I
Mhm.
shaved my eyebrows, so I had the little baby brows. I did the like heavy blush, I did the heavier eyeliner, I even did eyeshadow and like bold lipstick. So, and they're like, "Oh, you look really cute today." And I'm like, "Thank you." And I'm like, "You don't know." And I've told them that I have a business doing like face paint and tattoos and stuff. And so they've seen
Mhm.
the neck tattoo that I did and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." So I am trying to ease into it. I am hesitant to wear the elf ears because I don't want to wear the elf ears now. And they're like, "Oh, cute for Halloween." And then it's November and I'm still wearing the elf ears. And they're
Mhm.
like, "Halloween is over." And I'm like, "Actually, I just do this all the
Mhm.
time." So I may not wear the elf ears until after October. I'll have
Mhm.
to, I'm trying to think about it.
I, I guess that makes sense. I can see that because I do similar things in my life. Like if I'm going to start a new exercise plan or something like that, I definitely don't talk about it in January because January is when
Mm-hmm.
everybody talks about, oh, my New Year's resolution is to start walking more and
Yeah.
stuff like that. I either started way back in September, October, whatever. Like right
Mm-hmm.
now, I've been trying to walk more, partly because I need to walk more, partly because, after being on vacation, I saw I'm not as I know that I'm not fit, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm more unfit than I thought.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if I meant I'm not even gonna mention it, but I'm more unfit than I thought. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start exercising now. And I have been doing, but I can only manage like 5 or 10 minutes at a time
Yeah.
exercising.
I was doing a little bit of exercising the last couple of days because I've been sitting in here crocheting. So it looks like I got something on my teeth. I think it's just the shadow from that light, but it's driving me crazy. Anyway, but I was in here crocheting because this is where I sit and do all my crocheting, hence my yarn in the background there. But I was like, I'm just sitting here doing all this crocheting and not doing anything. What if I just do some squats or something? Because I
Mhm.
can't like walk in place so much while crocheting, but squats I could manage a little bit.
Oh,
So I was doing the
I can
like
walk in place while I crochet. I can walk in place while I
I
knit.
I keep missing stuff. I keep missing stuff. It like I need to. It needs to
I
be.
had to I had to change that up a bit. I was about to say I can walk in crochet, but I can walk and knit. I know that for a
Mm,
fact.
yeah, I keep
But
like missing and going into the wrong stitches and stuff. So but I did some squats, like chair squats, where I would like sit down in the chair and then stand up, and sit down in the chair, stand up, and I did that for like 20 minutes the last 2 days. So it's fun.
yeah, I don't start that kind of stuff in January on
Yeah.
purpose because people always think that you're doing it because that's what everybody else is
Mm-hmm.
doing. And that
Which is
just
Irritating.
Again, part of me being a contrarian, I don't want to be seen as a sheeple.
I don't care if I'm seen as a sheeple. I mean, I care a little, but I don't care so
I mean,
much about being seen.
sometimes I care, and sometimes I don't. Like, I want to go see the Taylor Swift movie when it comes to theaters in my area. The
It's-
Taylor Swift Eras tour, because I mean I wasn't gonna spend $500, but I'll spend $10 on a movie ticket and go see it because I like
Mother,
Taylor
when was the
Swift.
last time you went to the movies? Movie tickets are not
Um,
$10.
a million years ago.
Movie tickets are not $10
Oh,
anymore.
I went up in my head when I said $10 because the last time
Because
I
you were
went to the
thinking they
movies,
were $8.
no, I was thinking there were five. No, no, wait a minute. Let me rephrase that. I know they're not five, but the last time I went to the movies, they were five
The last time I went to the movies, I think my movie ticket was $14.
for one person.
Yes.
For
Wayne and
one
I went
person.
to, yeah, Wayne and I think the last thing we went and saw, it was either one of the Avengers movies or the new Godzilla movie that recently came out, or not that, Godzilla King of Monsters, when that came out. We went into the theater and saw, and I believe it was I think we spent $30 total for the two of us to go to the movies, not including snacks, not including popcorn, not including drinks. Like, I believe the tickets were $14 or $15.
I think part of the reason my view of how much movies are is skewed is because back when I did go to the movies on a regular basis, you would hear people on TV shows or like talk shows or something, whenever they mentioned going to the movies, they would say, "Oh, it's $30 to go to the movies, or it's $50 to go to the movies." And that was back in the 90s. They were saying this, but they were in Los Angeles, and I knew in North Carolina two people could go to the movies for $10.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was in the evening. If you went in the afternoon, it was less than that.
Yeah, the
So
matinee or whatever.
yeah, exactly. So I always, whenever people would say, "Oh, it's $30 to go to the movies," or "It's $50 to go to the movies," I'd be like, "Okay, well they're talking New York prices
Yeah, they're
or
talking big city
California
prices.
prices. They're not talking North Carolina prices."
Mm-hmm.
But it's been a long time since I've been to the movies, period. So I don't even know what North Carolina prices are anymore. So I said 10, just jumping up from the fact that when I went, it was five.
Yeah, it's gone up a lot. Also, vamp for like 2 seconds. My tendies are getting cold. They went off like a while ago.
Okay, vamp. So, so what I was vamping about before I shall go back to, which is um Crimson Hearts Collide. It is a Hallmark. It sounds like what it is, exactly what it sounds like. It's a Hallmark movie in audio form. It's completely audio. It's 8 episodes and it's free. You can watch it on YouTube. You can listen to it on well, not watch. They've got the audio on YouTube in video form. Let's put it that way. You can watch it on excuse me. You can listen to it on Spotify. Those are the two places that I am familiar with it. Um, but it's got people that you know. The main heroine is Melinda Williams, Malinda. If you've watched um any black movies in the 90s, you know who she is. Um and she is playing a lawyer who gets in a little bit of trouble with her job, and she is married, not married, she has inherited a um oh, you're back. I can stop vamping. Okay.
I am back. I don't know if it was it may have just been my headphones because you were like cutting in and out. But it might have, I think it was just because I was all the way in the other room.
Hmm. Oh, so you heard me talking about Crimson Hearts Collide?
Yeah, but I heard like Crimson Heart, Hallmark movie. If you watch black movies in the 90s, job lawyer. That's what that whole thing sounded like to me.
Well, we can talk about it later, maybe. Depends on what we get to. So,
Oh,
so the job
ow.
is going okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, that sounds painful.
Yep. Yep.
Did
You
you
forget how
bite your
much your lip
tongue?
moves when you. No, I have holes in my face
Oh, that's right. You do. That's right. Why are you eating when you have holes in your face?
because I haven't eaten today. I'm hungry.
You're never hungry. Or
I
is
am when
that
I
just
haven't
or is
eaten.
that just me?
I'm hungry when I haven't eaten in like 16 hours.
So job,
Job good.
me hungry. Job good.
Ow.
So do you think you'll be able to stick with this one for oh they've got you seasonal. Never mind.
Well, technically it's seasonal. Oh, that's annoying. Technically it's seasonal, but they also like when I looked at the email, then it didn't say seasonal; it just said part time. So I don't know because they've
Mm.
also hired on 3 other people. So it's me, somebody named Sydney, and somebody else whose name I can't remember. And they were saying because they just sent an email with the schedule, and they're like, "Please welcome Artemis, Sydney, and so and so." And so I don't know. I don't know if all of us are supposed to be seasonal or if like they're seasonal, but since I got here fat sooner, then I might be part time or what. But when I looked at the emails that they sent me when I did my onboarding stuff, it said part time.
Mhm.
So we'll see. I don't know if it would show up as seasonal or what. But we'll see. I like it feels fairly easy. Like it was super slow. And when it wasn't slow, it was just because I'm just back to customer service again. I'm working the front counter, ringing people up. The only really big learning hurdle that I had was you think you know how to blow up a balloon until you're working in a party store. Because I inflated them with the helium and I was trying to tie the balloons. I was like, I know how to tie a balloon. And I'm struggling. And I look over at this girl that's helping me that cannot be more than like 22 years old. And she's like, oh, here, let me show you. And then maybe it'll help. And she just, and it's tied. And I'm like, what? What? But I got practicing because we got an order for like 72 balloons yesterday. So I had plenty of practice.
Oh my lord.
Yeah. But it's chill.
Oh,
What are you working on?
why am I trying
We're
to do this and talk at the same time?
we're skipping the Yarny thoughts. You talk about what you are working on while I eat some of these chicken tenders before they get
No,
cold.
we're not skipping to Yarny
Let
thoughts.
me know. Did you have any other life updates?
Um, see, I had life things I wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember what they are.
Then stop
Other
knitting and
than
use your
other
brain.
than my husband has been gone all week.
Has he still not got back yet?
No, no. And he says that he's on the ship that we're going to be on for our vacation next year.
Mm-hmm.
And he said
Good
that
look.
we are going to love the new ship.
Nice.
It's supposed to be way bigger than the ships we normally go on. So
Wayne
there's
was
that.
asking, does it have a Wayne was asking, do you know if it has a movie theater like we did? Because I think it was the very first time that he cruised with us, the ship had a movie theater on it.
Mm. I'll look. I'll look up on the website myself, or I'll ask him when he comes back. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so this is a bigger ship. It's gonna cost a little bit more. Y'all need to save up.
We're working on it. We're still recovering from everybody getting COVID
Oh
because
Lord.
we were all out, and then Wayne switched jobs, and then I had to switch jobs, and so we are still just recovering from getting COVID.
Mm. Okay.
It'll mess you up, man.
Yeah, it will. People are acting like this is not a
Like, oh, COVID, we did that already. Like, what do you mean?
it's
We're still
still
getting sick.
and I mean it's picking up because there's a lot more people who are saying, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
got it again."
Yeah, and I got COVID, and then I'm obviously fully clear because I was like a month and a half ago or something at this point.
Hmm.
But I got this little cough when I was sick. I
Mhm.
think I'm you did the thing is what I'm saying. Because I got this
You're
little
saying
cough
that
when
I
I was
jinxed
sick.
you?
Yes, I got this little cough when I was sick, and I was like, okay, now I'm fully overcome it, but I still have this cough that won't go away.
Mhm. My
I have
cough
no idea.
just went away the last couple days. Just. And
Bro,
you
I
know,
was literally sucking on a cough drop yesterday.
we were sick. Um, we came back. What was it? What day was it? Then we came back, like the 13th of
I don't know.
September,
I think so.
and because we were gone over Labor Day, so I think it was. Why do I want to say the 9th, but I think it was the 13th. Anyway, it was mid September,
Yeah.
and I just got over the cough this week. I just woke up this morning not having to suck on a cough drop.
It's driving me crazy.
So, I mean, when I get a cough, I really get a cough. And I was supposed to make an appointment with the dentist to get a crown. And I'm like, I do not want to make an appointment and get in there and
And
have
have a
my
coughing
mouth,
fit.
have my mouth propped open and then all of a sudden have a coughing fit and cough in these people's faces. So let me get
Hmm.
this cough gone before I have to deal with that. What did I do? Oh
You were talking
no,
while knitting. Why don't you put it down and tell us what you're working on?
I can't do that.
You sound like a kid doing last minute homework. You're like, so teacher, how was your weekend? Scribble, 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 filling in homework at the desk while you're there.
You're so silly. You're so silly. Do we have any other life updates?
I don't think so. There's market recap. Market recap. I went to
Oh
Faye
yes,
Nectar last
market
weekend. It
recap.
was cold. That is the whole recap. I went to Faye Nectar last weekend. It was cold. It
Did you
was very
sell
cold.
anything?
I sold, yes, I did actually. I sold so all those amigurumis that I showed last week, if you want to know, you can go back and look at the live stream for last week. Chloe, pull up a picture of me pulling out all these amigurumis. Um I the only ones that I have left are Big B the Big B. I have I think I have two babies left. Two two or one chicken, and I think that's it. I think I sold everything else. I think I have Big B, some babies, and a couple chickens, and I think that's it. So I sold some chickens. I sold some of the babies. I sold both of my frogs. I sold both of my spiders. I sold the one squid that I had. I sold the ghost that I had. And I'm not putting the balloon animal dogs up on the table anymore. So I sold a good bit, but that
Oh,
means I need to
good.
catch up. I need to make more things. I feel like I'm playing catch up in every aspect of my life.
Well, it's the end of the year. That's kind of what I was saying last week. I don't know if I said it while we were on stream or just between me and you afterwards, but it's the end of the year. It's that time where I feel like I want to take the last 3 months and, clear things out, organize things, start new habits. Like I said, most people start January 1st. I feel like this in September.
Oh, goodness. Let me
And
mute this.
so we are now transitioning to our yarny thoughts since we've had the market update. And did you need to take that there?
Mm-mm. It was a notification. It was TikTok.
Oh, okay. So what have you been working on?
Spoiler alert, I have not made a single amigurumi. I
Oh
sold all those
no.
amigurumis and I was like, I need to make some more. But my brain is like, if you make another single amigurumi, you're gonna give up on crocheting for the rest of your life. This is it. Um, so instead of working on amigurumis, I decided to make some washcloths because I feel like washcloths would be good, like holiday gifts, like if people buy them in
Yeah.
packets. So I've been making washcloths. Very rude washcloths.
Rude
Oh,
large
can you even
cause.
read it?
Shame on you.
Can you read it? Can we?
Yes, I can read it.
Okay.
Rude
I've
washcloths.
got.
She showed those washcloths while we were on a stream with some people that we don't know,
You mean a video chat?
showing rude words.
I like them. I feel like they turned out really cute. I got this is all from one cake of Karen cotton cake or something, because I wanted to get just a big skein of cotton, but
Hmm.
Joann's is closed when I tried to go to Joann's. Um, so instead, okay, and this one is explicit.
Ah, rude.
They're so funny. And those ones, the PPs and the VVs, because this is a Vagina, those ones are really easy to make, like so fast to make. A lot faster than trying to work out the words. But I bought just like a rainbow skein of Karen cotton cakes. So that's what I
Hmm.
did with these, which is why they're all
Well,
like
you can sell
multicolored.
those as bridal shower gifts. His and her washcloths.
Ooh, that would be funny. Ooh, I should make some more of those and do that. But then I also was like, let me have some washcloths that are not
Yes,
that are maybe children
that
can
the
look at them.
grandmas can take. Those are cute.
Yeah, I did some flower. These are the only two that I did of these. This is so bright. It's like washing everything out. There we go. Now you can kind of see them.
So cute. You can barely see that there.
Oh
But
my goodness. I thought the light
I
was like
mean,
washing it
you can
out.
see the color, but I think we'd rather just see them in the light and assume the color.
What about
But
that?
yeah, that looks nice.
Yeah, I still, you can tell I need to weave in the ends. But there's that. Um, yeah, that's all I did. I just made washcloths, but I worked them up pretty well because I worked them up pretty fast. I mean, because I've got one, two, three, four, five, six. Is that six? Did I miss one? One, two, three. Oh yeah, they're bulky. Four, five. So I've got six of the square washcloths and then two of the flower ones. So they worked up pretty quickly.
Cool, 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 cool,
And
cool.
they were not too like labor intensive to work on, especially the shaped ones instead of the letter ones. So I want to
So,
make oh go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
I was trying to find some I was trying to find some that I could make that are the same like shape as those, like the square ones with the bobbles that had just like something else on them that would be like kid friendly. That way I could just put those on the table and then it could be
Hmm.
just like a mix and match kind of thing. Cause
Hmm.
my issue is if I make the flower ones don't take nearly as long as the square ones and they don't look like they take nearly as long as the square ones, but I want to sell them at the same price because cotton is expensive and it does take a bit more focus and more counting to do the flower ones than it does to do the other one. So I need to try to find a different one. I actually was working. I put up on my TikTok for anybody who follows me on TikTok. I put up on my TikTok a question asking if people could like I made a graph asking if people could look at the graph and see what it looks like to them. Oh, I looked at that light and I just have like spots in my vision now. It is
Yeah, I
this light
saw
is
that
so
TikTok.
bright. But yeah, and so it looked like it was overwhelmingly people pretty much saw what it was because it was a dragon. And so I am going to finish that grid myself and then not print it off, but put it in like a PDF or something, and then just work on that pattern myself to
Hmm.
make my own custom dragon washcloths because I feel like they would be
Cool,
cute. Hopefully they will
cool.
look well once they are in yarn form. But that's all the crafting that I did this week.
That's all your creativity? Well,
That's all
I've
of it.
done almost no crafting this week. I was going great guns on my sock that I showed last week. And I
Mhm.
am, as we speak right this second, I am doing the last two rows. So
Teacher, I thought I heard someone in the hall. Can you please go out there? Scribble, scribble, scribble. You over here finishing your last minute homework?
shush. But I got distracted by other things which we'll talk about in our other media consumption. But um
Um,
Um,
Stop knitting and hold up the sock. Stop knitting and hold up the sock.
why?
Because we have to move along.
Well, part of the problem was, which was part of the life update, was that I, when my husband is not home, then, like when he's on a trip like he is this week, then I fall very much into my natural body rhythm, which is I stay up very late at night. And so for the past several nights, not last night, because I finally got back into going back to sleep, but even for me, going to sleep on my normal schedule, because my husband comes home around 10:30, 11 p.m., and then we watch a little bit of TV while he winds down, and then he goes to sleep, and I still stay up and do my
And
own
scroll
wind
TikTok.
down. I still stay up and do my own wind down, and I've tried to cut that wind down out and just go to sleep when he goes to sleep, and then I lay there for 2 hours. So I do my own wind down and end up going to sleep around 2 a.m. If I go to sleep at 1:30 a.m., I'm doing pretty good, but it's usually around 2 a.m. And then get up to say goodbye to him in the morning. Well, when he's gone, like this week, several nights this week, I went to sleep at 4 a.m.
Oh,
And
goodness.
so then I didn't wake up till 11:30 or 12. Then I do my morning because I can't just hop out of bed. The few times I do that, like if I wake up and I urgently have to go to the bathroom when I wake up, my legs are like, "What the F are you doing?"
Oh, who
You
told you
know
you could do
we
this?
we don't hop out of bed like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I slowly, I sit up in bed and I slowly, do a little bit stretchy with the legs and whatever. And so I'm in bed for about an hour or so before I actually get up and start my day.
Mm-hmm.
So with him gone, that means if I'm waking up at 12, I'm not even getting up and starting my day till 1, maybe 2 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then go and then eat some food and whatever, and then start working at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., 5 p.m. And then I'm working till 11 p.m., 12 p.m., and then doing that kind of cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Which when he's home, I try to get up so that I can stop working at 7 p.m. so that I can, eat my dinner, get into my pajamas, maybe watch a little bit of stuff that I want to watch myself, like YouTube or whatever, before he gets
Mm-hmm.
home and then we share TV together. So my all that is to say my schedule has been totally
Your
whack.
routine is thrown off.
My routine's been totally whack. And in my morning time, I generally don't knit during my morning time. I might need to change that, but generally I don't knit or crochet during my morning time. I save that for evening time when I am watching TV with my husband. Well, since he wasn't home, I wasn't really knitting when I got off work in the evenings. So
You were just doing whatever.
I was playing my BGA turns and watching YouTube,
And
maybe
staying
playing,
up super late playing BGA like with us, like we did all this past Sunday.
yeah, like we did on Sunday. Or like my BGA turns with randos don't take long. So all we'll talk about that later. All that is to say I have not done any knitting. So I except for the first couple days he was gone. So I just have to bind off right now. So this is the first sock. But
It's so
again,
long.
but
How long of a sock
again,
is it supposed to be?
oh no, it's only calf length because this is what it looks like. But remember, we're folding it up
Yeah, but even with it folded up, it feels like it's super long.
because this is the cuff. This is the cuff part right here. So this is
Okay.
where I am. So this is the
Yeah.
cuff. So
Okay, and that's the heel.
So this is going to be the toe, I think.
No, that would be the heel. Right
That's
after the
the
cuff would come the
heel.
heel. The toe would be further away.
So this will be the toe, I guess. And so this is the ankle. This is the bit where my ankle is, I guess. So it'll be something like that.
I can kind of see it. It just feels very long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's a trust the process situation. Maybe it'll come together
Yeah,
once a week.
it's definitely a trust the process situation. But yeah, I'm at the end of this. So as anyway, your Aunt Terry, I had texted her
Mm-hmm.
the other week because part of my no, not that. What?
I'm over here eating.
Part of my not
You
to
and that carnival napkin are
stop
killing me.
stop calling me out on my carnival napkin.
It's killing me.
It's your father's fault.
Hmm.
Okay. I don't ever put these napkins in our suitcase. Okay. But your father, he'll grab a napkin so that, like, when he's out ashore and he starts
Mm-hmm.
sweating, he has something to,
To wipe his head.
to wipe his head or whatever. My husband is bald, for anyone who knows, wants for anyone who doesn't know, my husband is bald. If you didn't see the pictures last week. So, if you're married to a bald man, you know this is all skin, which means all this is going to sweat when you're out in the sun, you know. So he likes to carry a rag with him to not have sweat rolling down in his eyes. Um and then the rags end up in his pocket, and then his shorts end up in his suitcase, and then next thing you know, we've got carnival
Carnival napkins.
napkins at our house.
Hmm.
And considering we've been taking these trips once a year since the 90s.
Not since the 90s.
Well, we took our first one before you were born.
Yes, but you haven't been taking them once a year since the 90s unless you were going without me for all of them. In which case, I am mad. Have you guys secretly been going on Carnival cruises?
No, we've been taking them once a year since the 2000s. Let's put it that way.
Thank you.
I think it must have been like mid 2000s, maybe, because we took our first one in the 90s before you were born.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first cruise for either of us. And then, of course, we took a break to have four children. And then we started back when you guys were like in middle school, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So mid
Mm-hmm.
2000s,
I was in high school.
early mid 2000s. But what was I saying? You distracted me with carnival napkin. Um,
Aunt Terry?
oh, Aunt Terry, I I've been reading a lot of articles, not to go too far afield, but I've been reading a lot of articles about, connecting with other people and how to keep yourself from being depressed in your old age and all of this other stuff. And a lot of the things they recommend are, the different ways to reach out to other people. And I can't do all that because, hell is other people, as Sartre said. But
Mm.
I I
You?
so I decided a few months ago that I wanted to make things for other people in my life as a way to give myself some purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not to make things too heavy, but it was just kind of, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like halfway through the pandemic, it's like, okay, what is the purpose of life? What are we doing here? What? Why am I waking up every morning? None of
Ooh.
this is doing any good for anybody. You know.
Chloe, put some cheerful music over this whole conversation just to lighten the mood.
But when we went through the pandemic
Yeah.
and it was like,
Miserable.
oh, well, not only that, but a lot of things that you thought you needed, all of a sudden you don't need. Like, oh, you don't really have to go out to an office and work because we can work from
Mm-hmm.
home. And you don't really need to go do XYZ because now you can do it from home. Or now you can do, and so it's like, okay, I need to have a reason to do
Mm-hmm.
stuff. And so I made up my own reason that I need to make stuff for people in my extended network. Like, why am I knitting? What is the knitting for? You know, so
Well, the
I'm gonna
knitting
make
is
stuff for
for
people
fun.
in my extended network. But even I'm more of a practical person. Like, even when I had a garden, I grew vegetables. I didn't grow flowers because you can eat vegetables. Flowers just sit there and look pretty. And I don't want to put in that much work for something that's just going to sit there and look pretty.
Mm.
I used to cross stitch, but I stopped doing cross stitch because cross stitch mainly was for pictures to hang on the wall. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't want to do all that work for something that can't be used,
Yeah.
you know.
I feel
Especially
you.
in this day and age of too much, people have too much stuff, too much consumption and stuff like that. If I'm going to buy yarn and make something, I don't want to just clutter my house or somebody else's house with stuff that is just going to sit there. I want
Mm-hmm.
it to be a sweater that's going to keep somebody warm, or a hat that's going to keep somebody warm, or something like that. So, anyway, back to your Aunt Terry. So, in this vein, your Aunt Terry, I know your Aunt Terry likes scarves, and scarves are a thing I can make. So I asked her, how you doing on scarves? Because I've only seen her with one or two scarves. So I asked her, how many scarves do you have? And she immediately knew where my head was going, I guess, because she said, um, well, I'm good for scarves, but if you really feel like crocheting something, I would like some of these booties.
Oh, I was thinking dish scrubbies.
No, because I already sent her a whole box full of dish scrubbies just
Mm.
recently. So she wanted booties. So I'm like, I'll show you the picture of what I pulled everything up, and I still feel like I need to pull something else up. But she sent me some pictures of what she wanted. She said crochet, but the things that she sent me were knitted, which,
Or knit,
I'll
yeah.
try not to I'll try not to be annoyed.
I just had
Um
somebody come to my table the other week at the last BIPOC market. And they walked up and they're like, "Oh, did you?" Well, first of all, because Pierce comes with me to BIPOC market, so they're sitting beside me, and everybody will always come up and like, "Oh, do you guys make this?" And I'm like, "That's me. I make them. Yes, thank you. I make the things." And but somebody came up to the table and was like, "Oh, it's so cool that you knit. It's so amazing that you knit so many things." And I'm like, I'm picking my battles. Thank you. Just thanks. I
uh-huh.
appreciate it.
Exactly.
I am picking my
Exactly.
battles.
Exactly. No
We don't
no
need to have
use
this discussion right
getting
now.
really
The only person I would argue and die on that hill with is Wayne.
just because he's in your house all the time. But she sent
Exactly, and
me
he
this
should
picture. She
know.
said,
Ooh.
if you feel the need to, what did she say? Oh, how'd you like my picture from Duo the other day, by the way?
Cracking me up. Why does Duo look like he's about to sneak in your house and like force you to learn Spanish?
I know.
You're about to
It's
be
sad, isn't it?
in you're about to be in a what is that movie? The Saw, I think, movie with like you're gonna be tied, you wake up tied up and water splash on your face. Te amo, te amo. Just something screaming Spanish at you.
You're so weird. She said, but if you're looking to crochet something for Terry, I love granny booties. This is what she calls granny booties. And then
That
she
was like
said, and then she said, or if you're looking for a challenge, where's it? Not that one.
not duo. Ooh, but then he kept learning Spanish without you, and nevertheless he persisted. Those are
And then
cute.
She sent me this picture if you're looking for a challenge. Of course, she sent me pictures for patterns that are no longer available on the internet
Oh
because
no.
I did reverse search, and the
Mm-hmm.
pictures that these the patterns that these pictures came from are no longer
Mm-hmm.
available on the internet. They
Mm-mm.
have been discontinued. So I'm like,
Bummerino.
okay. So but I did find some similar ones.
Mm-hmm.
So that's part of why I wasn't finishing my socks because I spent my knitting time because
Pattern window shopping.
you know me. I can window shop patterns for
Same.
hours. I can
That's
window
what I do
shop
during my
patterns.
wind down time sometimes. I'll just scroll through patterns.
And the thing is, the problem is that it makes me feel like I actually did something. Where
I just
I
watched
did not knit anything, but I feel like I knit something because I looked at
I
50 million knitting patterns.
mini sidebar. I just watched the first like 10 minutes of a video. I didn't finish the video because it was making me feel bad about this woman who was talking about people who use fantasizing and planning about a thing to get the dopamine of having done the thing without actually doing it. And that's why they never follow through the plans, is because they feel like they have already done the thing because they've done all of
Uh
this like fantastical planning in their head. And I'm like, this is too real. I don't want to listen to you anymore. Goodbye, white lady.
huh. Well, I said that the ones were discontinued, but it turns out that one of those patterns was using a picture,
Mm.
but it wasn't. How can I explain it?
Mm.
They were using the picture from this pattern,
Mm-hmm.
but they were using it for their pattern. But this actually turns out to be the original place for the pattern, for the
Did they
picture.
just did they just Timu a crochet pattern? What in the world?
I guess. I don't know.
How
But
dare they?
I
Because
know
that's what.
because this studio I know is a reputable studio. They
Uh
have
huh.
like thousands of patterns out
Mm-hmm.
there. They're in like Germany or Switzerland or Sweden or someplace because their original patterns are not in English, but then there are
Oh,
ones that are translated into English.
that's always so frustrating to me when I am looking for something. I'm like, oh, this picture looks great. This pattern looks great, and then I click on it on Ravelry, and the whole thing is in Russian, and I'm like, oh
Well,
no.
no, the Drops Studios has all of theirs translated into English, so
Oh, nice.
you're not gonna have that problem with theirs. It's just that I
Mm-hmm.
know their original ones are in another
Are
language.
not in English. Okay.
I just can't remember which one. But yeah, so this one is available. This one is I'm trying to remember if this one's free. Most of Drop Studios are free. That's the other thing. Oh, I know what
Mm-hmm.
it is. This pattern is free, but I do not have any super bulky yarn.
Oh, I mean, you could
And
always,
I could always buy some, I know.
or you could
And
always hold two strands together.
I am not holding two strands together. No, no, I am not. And there are also it takes double pointed needles, and I know how to use double pointed needles, but I am so not in the mood.
This feels like, but
But
these patterns feel like when you crochet socks with worsted weight yarn. I feel like if you looked up a crochet pattern, you could find a crochet pattern similar to this.
so I have found some other patterns because let me go back to my list. So
Yeah, I'm
these are
also
the
gonna
ones, the
scroll.
actual ones in her picture,
That she
but
looked at, yeah.
then that she looked at. But then there are like this one is similar,
It
and
is. Oh, and that's crochet?
this one's crochet,
That looks cute. What size? And it uses worsted?
it's worsted weight.
I might make some of those.
But
I wonder how long they take.
it's also $5.37 for the pattern.
Mother, do you need me to break my already empty bank and send you $5 so you can use this
No,
pattern?
no. I'm real tempted to buy this
Just get
one.
it. It's cute.
It is, it's very cute. It's very cute. I don't know if I have 700 yards because I was trying to use up my, because that's part of my thing for this year. Making these fits into my um what's the word?
What is the word?
My goal for this year of um
Working through your yarn stash and not buying more yarn?
thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Trying to I'm trying to make things out of this yarn even if I don't give it away. I have two separate knitwear goals, which are I want to make things with the yarn I already have, even if it's not like make what the yarn wants to be, even if I don't have somebody to give it to.
Yeah.
Just
Because
make
you can
it
find somebody to give it to later.
so that I can use up this yarn and not feel so guilty about buying other yarn. But also that's also my other goal for this year is to make things to give to the various people in my life,
Hmm.
in my extended network. Um, but yeah, so I'm leaning toward this one. And I think I have some yarn, but I don't think this would look good in a variegated yarn. I have 700 yards of a variegated yarn, but I don't
Varied what
know.
colors? Because I'm thinking something with like grays and browns and maybe some blue in it, some like speckly.
I do have a like tan. I'm asking her if she has a color preference right now. It just hit me
Hmm.
because I was just going to try to use up what yarn I have, but then I thought, you know what? I want to make something she's actually going to wear. So I know she tends to be picky about things. So let me just ask her if she has a color preference.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm leaning toward this one. No, I
I
have
want to
a,
make
I
some of
have
those.
a, I have a, uh,
You
you want to
have
vamp
a
while I get up?
sure.
Okay. Because the yarn is like right in this corner over here.
So now is the time for me to vamp. Um, things that we've been listening to lately. Ooh, podcasts. Let's see. I am caught up on Scam Goddess. It is very good. I've been enjoying the last few things of Scam Goddess. I think the last few guests were Andre, oh, what is his name? Eric Andre was on there, and then a couple other people. Let's see. I've also been listening to Scared to Death, which I have to be very careful when I listen to that one because that is Dan Cummins and his wife Lindsay telling scary, true stories to each other. I say true because they're like they are assuming that they are true, just for the sake of the podcast, but they don't like go in and do like a ton of research of like did these crimes actually happen and they'll look up like if they're talking about a specific place they'll look up like the place and say yes this place exists but they're not going to like hunt down like was a murder actually committed here at such and such a time for this ghost to exist or whatever. They just kind of go with the flow for that. So that's a good one. I need to be careful when I'm listening to that though because listening at night, big no no, big no no. Do I have any, what else do we have? Shower thoughts. Oh, has anybody else been seeing this commercial? I'll repeat this when she gets back. Has anybody else been seeing this commercial of Duolingo? And I heard it the first time, and then I saw it the second time because I had like my headphones in, and so I didn't see it. And then I saw it the second time where Duolingo was like, Duo wants to teach you math and music, and it's like the Duolingo symbol, and then like a math, like a plus sign, minus sign, divide sign, multiplication sign, and then like the music, like eighth notes or whatever. Duolingo is trying to teach you how to do math. I'm wondering what level math, like is Duo going to be teaching you calculus? How much math is Duo teaching you? And then also music, but like it'll teach you to read music, but then after a certain point, like is it going to teach you like instruments as well? Like what is it? Is it going to teach you to
What are
compose
you
music? Is
talking
Duo teaching
about?
music theory? Duo wants to teach you math and music. Have you
Oh,
not
I
seen the
had I
commercial?
had I had the math one. I had the math one on my phone. I was doing
I
it
got I
every day
just
for about a month because I can't do math in my head. So I thought, well, maybe that would help me with my math in my head. And I did it for about a month.
I just got a commercial like the other day on my phone. Duo wants to teach you math and music. It's math and teaches you to read music. I'm just wondering, like, how much math is Duo going to teach me? Am I learning geometry? Am I learning calculus? Am I like, how much math are you teaching me, Duo?
Well, the level of math that I got, and Duo knew I was an adult because I think it asked me like, "Are you an adult? How good are you at math?" Blah blah blah, and it was pretty much getting me to like, I guess, try to do the calculations in my head, like times tables and
Hmm.
stuff, because I can't remember my times tables. So this has
I
been
remember
many
my times
years.
tables because of Schoolhouse Rock. I was literally just bumping to lucky number 7 down the road earlier today.
Okay, I asked you now. Your aunt Terry has an iPhone like I do, so this
She got
means
that
that.
green bubble
So that means
or
no.
blue bubble or whatever.
We both
I
have the
forget. I don't
blue.
have an iPhone.
Yeah, we both have the blue because we have
Green
iPhones.
is if you have Android.
Yours would be green on mine because you have Android.
I don't have elitist colors. I don't know.
I don't pay attention to the colors. The only thing I pay attention to is that with the iPhone, if I can do reply on somebody else's message.
Hmm.
Like
It's
we
that
do on
cough.
Facebook Messenger.
Yeah,
I can,
and like a message or whatever.
yeah, I can double click that message so you know that the next thing I type you is in relation to that message. I
Yeah.
can't do that if you're Android and I'm iPhone. Okay. So so she knows that I'm talking about the boots. I clicked the message with the boots and said, "Do you have a color preference?" She says, "I generally like white guys but have strayed a bit." That does not help me with the boots.
So we got a comedian in the family. What is going on? What in the world?
For
What
those
in the
watching,
world?
Aunt Terry is not really her aunt. As black folk do, I don't do a lot of things that other black folk do, but
We
I
claim
do.
people.
She is my BFF. So all the kids call her Aunt Terry rather than having them call her Mrs. Blah blah blah.
I wouldn't even know what to call her if I didn't call her Aunt Terry. I do not know her last name. I do not remember her
So
last name. She is Aunt Terry. Yeah,
so
we're not about to dox her, like out her on the stream, but I would not know what to call her. That is how much.
so so but Aunt Terry is white, so that's why she's
She
being
is white and
silly.
she is my aunt to the end. Ask me on my deathbed.
So she is being silly. Okay.
Ronald must be having fun at that meeting. I hope they've all got funny hats. I guess. I hope he wears a top hat as an international man of mystery. Or maybe a bowler
I'm
cap.
telling her if she wants warm feet, stop being a comedian.
I'm gonna go grab some yarn. I need to work on something. I'm not making any amigurumi, so maybe I'll make a hat. I just cannot bring myself to make something else. I
Okay,
made
so
nothing but
I got
amigurumis for
the
like
whole
4 weeks in
purpose
a
of
row.
me getting up was to get up and get the yarn. Okay, so the yarn that I've got, I don't know if you can see because I don't know if my lighting is good enough in here, but I have a bag
Okay.
of this.
It looks
This
like
is like,
green, purple, blue, yellow. It looks
yeah,
springy.
but it's like, yeah, it's very springy. It's very pale. It's like pale purple, pale yellow, pale green. A little
Mm-hmm.
bit of slightly light blue in there, I think. I bought this. I bought a whole 4 skeins of this back when I was a size 16 because I was going to make a skirt out of it
Cute.
for my booty. So I have, how many yards is this? This is Red Heart Super Saver, of course. So 244 times 4 is what I've got here.
Let me get out the calculator.
Hey, Hey Google, what's 244 times 4?
I told you I was getting the calculator. It's 976.
So I've got 976 yards of this.
Are you questioning my math abilities? I told you I had the
No, I'm
calculator.
not. I just figured I'd put this Google to use that I got sitting over here. So I got 976 yards of this variegated yarn that needs to be put to a purpose.
Oh, and I don't have a hook in
So
here. Continue talking. I am listening. I can hear you through my
I know
headphones.
you're
I gotta run to the
listening.
living room to grab my hook.
I know
'Cause I
you're
don't even
listening.
have this.
So, but I don't think that that would be um fit for those booties. But I do have another pattern that I'm looking at up here in moccasin slippers. It's called moccasin slippers with a cuff.
Mm-hmm.
And the picture shows it in a variegated yarn. So I think it might do okay with a variegated yarn. And this is a $3 pattern, but they also have it free on their website. But I went and looked at their website, and their website, you know how some of those websites are so heavy with the ads that
That you
it's
can't even
like
see
that
anything.
I
Yeah.
just can't. I'd rather throw you $3 than have to put up with these ads. That's what I did with the the top that I made for the cruise.
Mm-hmm.
There was so many ads. It's like, you know what? I'd rather just throw you some money than have to look at this many ads.
Yeah,
So,
I don't buy patterns super often. I have to stop myself from buying patterns actually sometimes, which I've been
mhm,
doing pretty good at lately because
mhm,
I will look at a pattern and I'm like, it's only $5. That's fine. I sell one
mhm.
item, the pattern will pay for itself. But I'll do that like 6 times in a row and then not make all of them.
Uh-huh.
And then
Mhm.
I'm like, oh, these patterns have not paid for themselves.
But yeah, this is I'm leaning toward this one's also worsted weight. It's knit, but instead of using double pointed needles, it's using she uses some weird technique where you pretty much knit it flat except for this one spot where you use three single pointed needles just so that you can get around the corner
Hmm.
because it's too tight to use a circular needle or some nonsense.
That sounds weird.
It does.
This is
But
this would be the size of a hat, right? That feels like the size of a hat. I'm fully winging this pattern right now.
so I'm thinking, but these don't. I like the look of these, but at the same time, these don't look like what she requested.
Hmm.
So I'm leaning between what would be easier for me
Yeah. And what does
and
and what does she want?
what did she actually ask for? But there's several projects with this one, and they look like they are comfy.
They look okay. Honestly, if you want honesty from your daughter,
Yes,
I prefer
honesty
the other
from my
ones.
you prefer which ones?
The other ones, the crochet red ones that look like the other pattern.
The slipper boots.
Yeah, the slipper boots. I prefer those.
I was also looking at these, the women's buttoned
Oh,
up
those are pretty
sisters.
cute.
Everything I looked at, I could see her wearing these.
Hmm.
These are also crochet. This is a $4 pattern though.
Okay. It's only $4.
I know. And honestly, with these, if I made these, I could also see your Aunt Connie wearing these. And
Ooh, I could also see Aunt Connie wearing those, and so you
I
can make
could
two of them.
yeah, I could make a pair for Aunt Connie and for Aunt Terry, and that would pay
Make you
for
feel better
the
about
pattern.
spending $4.
Yes, make me feel better about spending $4. Hey, I still feel bad about the $5 I spent for that other pattern for the The
For the
hoodie.
white top? Oh, the
No,
hoodie.
for the
Oh,
hoodie the
no,
hoodie
we
that
never did.
no, we didn't pay for that pattern. That one was free. I'm talking about the hoodie that I didn't finish. I think the name of the pattern was like Atherton or something. Let's see if I can find it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't remember this.
I bought that jeans yarn
Oh, I
to
remember you
make
talking
it,
about the jeans yarn.
and I'm trying to find because I know I started it and put it in my patterns. I see the sweater, I see the black cozy hoodie sweater is in there, but I know we didn't
Yeah.
finish that.
Is it that blue stripe shirt? No, because that looks finished.
These are all ones that I finished though. Why am I not seeing it?
Because Ravelry doesn't want to show your shame.
I doesn't want to show my shame here, so okay.
Well, while she's scrolling, I will vamp for a moment. Let me tell you about the dream I had last night. It was friggin' crazy. So I dreamed that our entire family went on, it was like almost like a vacation, but it wasn't a vacation because we went to a big building for like classes of something, but I don't remember what the classes were about. I'm not sure that anybody knew what the classes were about, but we were like attending seminars for things. And so we were going on attending these seminars, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, wait, I forgot my purse back in this other room. So let me go get it. And so I went back into the other room, and then all of a sudden I hear this weird noise coming from another room. And so I like it sounded like somebody might have been in trouble or something. So I go and I peek my head in there. And guess who I see in this other room but a Slitheen from Doctor Who? And so I'm like, oh no, we got to get out of here. People are about to get ate up and turned into skin suits. And so I start to go walk back and find my family. And then I see my mother. And so I remember very distinctly, I leaned in so close to her ear because I was like, they're going to hear me. Who knows who is a Slitheen and who's not? And so I leaned in so close to her ear. And I'm like, hey, mommy, you remember that episode of Doctor Who with the Slitheen, the one with the prime minister? And she's like, yeah, what are you talking about? I'm like, there is absolutely a Slitheen in that room right now. We've got to get everybody and get out of here. And so we start walking like against the crowd because she believed me right off the bat because I'm trustworthy. And so we start walking against the crowd because the crowd's walking one way, we're walking the other way. And so then I told Chloe, I'm like, Chloe, you remember that episode Doctor Who? There's a Sabine in the other room. We gotta go. And so we got Chloe, we got Sydney, and then I had to talk to Isaac. I'm like, Isaac, I know you haven't watched Doctor Who. You really need to trust me right now. We need to go. I can't take time to explain it. We just really need to go. And so we keep walking, and then I find Daddy, and I'm like, Daddy, I know it's been a while since you watched Doctor Who, but there were those creatures called the Slovene in that one episode. They were all green and they were eating people. There's some in the other room. We really got to go. And Daddy was
Right.
like,
Weird.
what? And he was so confused. He was like, what is going on? And I was like, Daddy, I really need you to trust me. Really gotta go. And so we start walking. Turns out the entire building is a spaceship. So as we're trying to get out, the whole building lifts up off of the ground. And so then we like get to the exit chute. And so we're like, oh, no, we're not going to make it if we fall. So we got to back up. But Mommy and Daddy are like sliding out. And so the rest of the kids, we all decide to like jump out of the spaceship and we land, and then it's just this like dystopian, like, because all of the other people who have escaped the Slovene are down there and they knew that the ship was going to be landing there, and so they're like gathering around and like because they knew that they were going to
Girl,
drop like people with stuff, and so they're like, do you have a cell phone, do you have a working cell phone, like stealing stuff, and they're like raiders and stuff. It was a nonsense dream. It was
you're
nonsense.
torturing Ronald. He's back from his meeting.
Hello, Ronald, you just
Stop
missed me
torturing
explaining my
Ronald.
absolute nonsense dream.
Okay, this is the sweater that I'm talking about. I spent 650 for that pattern and I have not finished it, and it tortures me.
It's 650. You'll be
But it
okay.
it tortures me that I spent money and bought yarn. I spent money and bought yarn and only got halfway through.
Yeah, I bought yarn for that hoodie. We have not finished it, and I am sitting pretty over here. I am okay.
It tortures me. I think every day, okay, I need to get back to finish this hoodie to give to somebody because I spent money. On top of the fact that I really liked the yarn. The yarn was very pleasant to work with. It's
Hmm.
just that I got to a point in the whenever a pattern gets to a point and says, "Okay, stop, read all of this through before you start to knit, then it's like, oh, this is going to be complicated. I can't do this while I watch TV. And that's
Mm-hmm.
when I put the pattern down and,
Yep.
and don't think
Ronald
about it
said, "Well,
anymore.
finish it." Ronald said, "Well, finish it, and then you won't have to feel bad about the 650."
You act like that's so easy.
I
You
mean,
act like
here
that's
comes the
so
pattern.
easy. But I've already committed October to being Socktober.
Then you can
So,
finish it in November. It'll be Hoodvember. I really thought there was something better there, and there was not.
well, your Aunt Terry got back to me. She said that she wants gray. Well, she said maybe a gray. She's open to other suggestions if I don't have any gray, but if
Do
I have
you
other
have gray?
colors on hand. So,
Because I feel like a nice gray, like heather, would be nice.
oh
Do you have a gray?
no, your friend's car got stolen, but the hoodie. The
Oh
hoodie's the real
no!
tragedy.
Oh my goodness! Stole the car and took the hoodie. Goodness, shenanigans.
But yeah, I don't have any red. I have a ton of orange because
Hmm.
you know I can't get rid of that orange. I have a ton of orange.
Just
But
make some more. Just make some more pumpkin hats.
she was thinking of gray. For the longer boots, she was thinking of her nephew's girlfriend who had a knit red hat and she wanted a pair of boots to go with it, a pair of the slippery things to go with it. So,
Hmm.
but she also wants a gray pair for herself. So, and me buying gray yarn is really not a hardship because I like working with gray yarn. I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen you make a lot of great things.
Well, part of it seems to be something in the. I think it must be something in the dyeing process because every time I buy gray yarn, it's always feels soft. Even
Hmm.
even if I get something like a red heart gray, it's softer than the other red heart. It just feels good. So I don't know what they do to make it gray, but it feels nice.
On the flip side of that, white yarn feels yucky. White yarn feels like stiff and scrungly. I don't like it. Every time I get a skein of white yarn, like every once in a while, it'll be like average, but I've never had a white yarn that was nice. Like as far as worsted weight yarn goes, I've never had a white yarn that felt nice. It felt like average or straight up scrungly and scratchy and stiff. Like someone spilled something. It makes me think of that time that I accidentally spilled coffee on that yarn and had to cut out all those coffee spots.
Hmm.
It feels like someone spilled something on it and then was like, well, you can't really see it anyway, so let's just ship it like this. I do not like it.
But so I'm going to finish this sock that I have just to this is the goals that I'm putting out there in the world. We'll see if I
Mm-hmm.
stick to them. But when we finish the sock that I have, like you said, you saw I just have to bind off that one bit and then I need to sew it up. And then it's time to make another sock. But I'm going to sew it up and see how it fits me first
Before you
because
make the other
if it
one.
before I make the other one because I like I don't want to put my foot up on the table, so I'm gonna use my hand. But
Mm-hmm.
like, say this is my foot. I don't like it when you make homemade socks and there's all of this part at your ankle. Like
Bunching, yeah.
it fits fine here, and it fits fine here, but you have all this saggy bit right here
Mm-hmm.
because there was no shaping in the way that you knit it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't ever knit. Like I could just knit tube socks, but the one time I tried knitting tube socks, when I tried it on, again, you have all that gappy part right
Yep.
at the front of your ankle, and that just looks unattractive, and it's all baggy around your foot and stuff. So I am going to, because the picture
Looks
of,
like it's shaped pretty well.
yeah, the picture looks like the shaping that you did at the foot and the toe. See that makes me think that it's going to fit nicely.
Hmm.
That picture right there makes me think it's going to fit nicely. But
I cannot see a
we
picture unless you are not bringing it up currently. You looked like you were bringing up a picture. I did not see anything.
I
You
told
don't
it to
have to.
I told it to share. Oh, there. There we go. But that makes me think that it's going to fit nicely. That picture
Yeah.
makes me think it's going to fit nicely. But I don't remember any pictures on Ravelry of
Of people wearing
anybody
them.
wearing these socks. I mean, you have this one picture at the top of the person wearing the sock, but the way they're angling their foot, they could just be hiding the baggy part.
Yeah.
Because there's a
I mean, we can't
slight
hope. It
baggy
looks pretty
part
decent.
there. Yeah, it looks pretty decent. That's why I went with this pattern. But I'm going to sew it up and try it on my foot before I waste time doing another. But even if
Hmm.
it does fit well, I might put it to the side to make this the pattern that your aunt Terry has requested,
Hmm.
and I guess come up off some money and order some. So we'll see how if
Get
I'm
some
sitting
yarn.
here, if I'm sitting here with more yarn next week, then you know what happened. But oh, my other thought was you were saying why not finish that hoodie in November? Well, because my other thought was we have someone in our life, you know who I'm talking about, not going to name them, who is having a baby, and
Mhm.
this person um was not expecting to have a baby and
Oh, I don't
is
know who we're talking about then. We can talk after the chat.
this person was not expecting to have a baby, and I think that they are financially challenged somewhat. And
Okay.
so
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Oh my goodness. It took me a minute
and
because I was
and
thinking,
so
yeah.
I thought that as much as I like to make baby things, it might be a good idea for me to focus in November making some baby things for this person,
Hmm.
because I could do a whole layette with a blanket and a sweater and some booties and
Hmm.
the whole, which I normally don't
Ooh, I
go
can
all
make.
out for people. Normally I just like maybe make a blanket. Like if somebody says, "Oh, I'm going to a baby shower," I pull out my old reliable 5-hour baby sweater, whip that
Hmm.
up and toss that. Or sometimes I'll do a baby blanket, in the dishcloth style, which is, cast on 3 stitches and then
Yeah,
just increase, increase, increase until you get halfway through and then decrease, decrease, decrease. They call that grandma's dishcloth, but you,
I did not know
I
that.
do it. Yeah, I do that in baby blankets all the time. So I could do that. But since this person I know is financially, or I assume is financially challenged, because I don't know her life, but I assume is
Hmm.
financially challenged. I think they might be more appreciative of
Some baby
getting
items.
some baby items.
Hmm.
That and the fact that
Ooh,
I think we still have a thing of newborn diapers sitting here that we never gave to somebody when they had their baby. And by the time we got around to it, it was too late because their baby's grown.
yeah.
That could go in a box along with some other things.
Let me know what yarn you use to make some of the baby things like the sweater or the booties, and then maybe I could make her like a hat or a cardigan or something to match. I've been wanting to
Mhm.
make a hexagon cardigan forever, and that would give me a reason to make a hexagon cardigan that's not just making a cardigan for myself.
Make a baby size hexagon cardigan.
No. What if you make a baby size hexagon cardigan and I make an adult size hexagon
Oh,
cardigan
you're
and then
talking
we
about
can have
making one
matching
for the
cardigans?
mother.
Yes.
Oh, I
So they
see
could,
what you
yeah,
mean.
because if I know what yarn you use, then they could have matchy matchy.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. I was thinking of trying to go with um some stuff I already have, but
And we could figure it out. We could sort it out.
Also, I was thinking about maybe trying those slippers. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, yarny, and then we can move on. But
Mm.
I have a whole
Ooh.
bag. This is called Icelandic jewels
Mm-hmm.
from Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
I have like
Because
I
that
have
would
t-
be
I
good for the slippers.
yeah, I definitely have two balls of this
Mm-hmm.
greenish color. It's called jewels because I know you can't see it, but
It's got like flecks in it, like flecks of red.
it's not just
Oh, red and
flecks,
yellow.
but if you I can't you can't really see, but these flecks are shiny.
Oh, okay.
They're shiny like satin. So, yeah, it's like plied with a strand of like ribbon.
Yeah. That's cool.
And so it's furry and ribbon and it's polyester. I've got two of these. I've got one of these.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I one of those patterns called I think I've got two of these. Yeah, I've got two of these. These again, this is another thing where somebody gave me all this yarn.
Yeah.
So I got two of these. I think I only have a little bit of the blue left. And but I was looking at sock patterns and there are some bulky patterns in there. And I think I have I can only put my hands on one of this pink, but I think I have another one
Mm-hmm.
of this pink.
Somebody just really liked that yarn and then decided and then didn't get to use it.
So I think this might be good for some slippers.
Yeah, I feel like that would be a really good one for the slippers. That's the kind of thing I was thinking of earlier.
Cause I also found a pattern that you can make on the part of the reason I haven't used this yarn because the ends of it are all tangled up in this.
Oh no. I
So
would cut that off immediately.
I
I would
haven't
I would
gotten
find the furthest
around.
stretch that I could get out of that knot. You see that stretch that's right there close to the knot? Snip it right there. Just snip right there.
But that's what's at the bottom of this bag. All these yarns that I'm holding up to you are all tangled together
I would
in
snip
that
that off
mess at
immediately.
the bottom of the bag. But this is like 253 because I still have the label on one of them. So
Mm-hmm.
this is like 200 and uh yeah, yarn
Okay,
B
Yarn B
Icelandic
Icelandic
jewel.
Jewels. I don't even know if they make that anymore because last time I was at
Probably
Homophobic
not.
Hobby Lobby, I haven't seen it.
Probably not. This is 2004.
Yeah, I did not see that last time I was at Homophobic Hobby Lobby.
Yeah, so this is 20 years ago. This is 20-year-old yarn. So, but this is like 250 253. I think I did the math last night. 253 yards. And so some of the shorter patterns like um there's a pattern that um where's the word? The word.
Bird?
Loom.
Loom?
Loom, hand loom. You know, hand loom?
Like the
Yes.
circular looms, like what I have in my
Yes.
room?
Yes. Loom in your room.
Loom in my room?
Loom in my room too. But there is a pattern that uses bulk yarn
Mm-hmm.
on a loom. I just printed it out yesterday, so I was thinking about trying that pattern.
Ooh, that looks fun.
That was a free pattern. And there's a video. I meant to look last night, which I didn't do last night, but I meant to look. There's a as you can see, it's instructions from a class. And so there's
Hmm.
like they're showing all the different looms that you could use, all the different yarns that you could use. Our purple one is right down there in the bottom corner. I know you've got that one.
I think mine. What color is mine? I think mine's blue, maybe. But yeah, I've got the little one. I wonder if I could use some of this blanket yarn that I've got for these amigurumis. I wonder if I could use that and make some like really chunky like plush slippers.
You might be
Do you think
able
those would be
to.
a
I
thing?
looked at the pattern and it's like use bulky or super bulky. So it's like use a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I think that
Even
yarn is a
though
5.
Yeah, even though on Ravelry it says super bulky, which I think tends to be a 7.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the actual pattern, it says um super bulky is a 6. The actual pattern says you can use a 5 or a 6. And
Okay,
there's YouTube videos if you print out the pattern, there's YouTube videos that go with it. I haven't
nice.
looked to see if those patterns are still um
Available.
up because this is from 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So there's chances they'll still be up, but
I couldn't think of why they would take them down.
this is I think this is the one that I want to try next after I finish sewing up, just to give myself a different because
Craft.
yeah, you know how I've discussed before that my hands don't like to do the same thing over and over because
Mm-hmm.
then I get the pain.
Yeah.
So I try to switch up. So I thought maybe I would try this, and it would also give me a reason to use up this bulky yarn that I've got because I've got tons of it. So like if this pattern turns out to be simple, I can make at least 2 pairs of these slippers and use up that yarn.
Yeah, let me know if it turns out to be pretty simple because I want to make at least one pair for myself because I've been walking around the house in socks. But one, the dogs keep stealing my socks. Two, the socks are not quite warm enough for as cold as it has been getting all of a sudden.
That's the other thought I had. That's why I mentioned the pattern to you because um I know that you like to walk around I know you get cold and you like to walk around in socks and things like that.
Hmm.
Blow pops are grosser than you remember. I haven't had a blow pop in ages, but I remember liking them.
Blow
But
pops are fine. What nasty blow pop did you get? We could all pull out the loons. We could do a knit along. We could do a knit along for
you know we're
slippers.
not doing a knit along. Stop it.
We could do a knit along. It's getting to be winter, which means all of my markets are going to be done. We could all do a knit along, and then I could have some slippers. You could get the slippers done and use up your yarn. It's perfect. Stamp, print, ship.
I'm texting your Aunt Terry back. Give me just a second.
So I can continue with that dream that I was talking about earlier. It
No,
was
you're not
friggin'
continuing with that
insane.
dream.
It was crazy. There was more.
No. I think unless we have any other crafty thoughts, we can move on to
Video
our
games
media
or
consumption.
watching. I think we should jump down to video games because we have been kind of on and off talking about watching and listening, and we have not talked
Mhm.
about video games in a hot minute.
Okay, we can jump over to our gaming thoughts. I was starting to think to myself honestly that everything should just go under media consumption and we just talk about stuff as we want to, but whatever.
I mean,
Um,
I'm okay with that because that's kind of what we did before, so we can definitely switch back.
we can do that for next week.
Okay.
So, oh, the other thing I forgot to mention is that tomorrow is I Love Yarn Day. Just brief mention. Tomorrow is I Love Yarn Day. So, if you want to um, teach someone, the goal, the Craft Yarn Council designated I Yarn Love Yarn Day is like teach somebody else how to knit or crochet, which whatever. But that's
The
what
Crafting
tomorrow
Yarn
is.
Council?
You act like you've never heard of the Craft Yarn Council.
Does it look like I've heard of the Craft Yarn Council?
Oh my God. Do I not teach my child anything?
Not when it comes to the Craft Yarn Council. What is going on with my lighting? Will you adjust? No, it's so dark like that. What
The,
is going on?
the Craft Yarn Council used to have their office in Gastonia. And but now they're in Texas. But their main office, I mean, it's a national organization, but their main office used to be in Gastonia, which I always thought was interesting. But I mean, kind of made sense because we're in North Carolina, which is the land of the textile yarns and textile mills, or it used to be, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where this is the land of um
Catton.
where the yarns were made. This is, this is the state where a lot of yarns used to be made. So it made sense that the Craft Yarn Council was here. But it's basically, this is the they represent all things yarn, like um charities, that this is the place where you can go for charity if you want to find charities that accept hand knit or crochet things.
Mm-hmm.
It's what how can I describe it? Kind of like the milk council, the dairy council, or the cotton, like the dairy council were the people who made sure all those posters were up about drink milk,
Got
milk
milk.
does a body good and all that stuff. Their whole job is to just kind of put milk out there in the public consciousness to make sure more people buy milk and milk products so that their
Okay.
farmers and stuff can stay in business. That's kind of what the Craft Yarn Council is. It's like they just like put, they're the PR people that just they don't represent any one yarn company. They just put
Mm-hmm.
out there in general that yarn is great. Kind of like,
So I'm
what was that other thing? The touch, the feel of cotton, that cotton commercial that used to be out there. They don't represent any one company. They just want you to know cotton is still grown in this country and it's good and you should buy something made out of cotton. We don't care
like
who
the
you buy it
commercials of
from.
the incredible edible egg.
Yes, like that. Like that. So Craft Yarn Council is one of those organizations where they don't represent any one company. They just want people to start using yarn because it benefits all the companies. And so they have things like, teach people how to knit or crochet because then people will buy yarn. They
Mm-hmm.
um they represent this charity Warm Up America, where you make afghans and hats and stuff to donate to like homeless shelters and things like that. They also are the place that represent the if you want to get your certification as a certified knitting instructor or whatever, they're the ones that you take the test through.
That's a thing I could
um,
do.
that's a thing. I never did it, but it's a thing.
I should go do that. And then I could say that when I'm like, hey, I'm a certified crochet instructor. Would you like to learn?
But so yeah. So whenever you hear something like knit in public day or something like that, um
Okay.
those are Craft Yarn Council type things. Okay, so gaming thoughts.
Yes. Let me
gamey
scroll
thoughts.
my list.
Oh, knitting makes your hand cramp?
Maybe makes who? Oh, me? Oh, back then. Oh, yeah. I fully forgot. I was like, what? What are you talking about? I I was making those washcloths. Um, and oh, Ronald, did you miss my washcloths from earlier? I'm just gonna flash this for just like a quick second because it's hilarious. And it's gone. You see it? And it's gone. Okay. Oh, one more time on big screen. Okay. Um, so I was making those washcloths. Um, and I was like, but I found some other patterns that I wanted to do. You can unbigify me, by the way. This is disconcerting looking at my face this large. Um, but I found some other patterns that I want to do, but they're not bobble patterns. They're like tapestry patterns. And I'm like, I don't want to try to tapestry, like carry this yarn over and do all of this. Cause it's just, I was just kind of tired of doing that. And so I was like, well, what if I knit it and then just like duplicate stitch over it, the pattern. And then the back will just look funky because that's just how the back of things look, and they can have a nice design on the front. So I did the math of how many or I looked at the chart of how many rows and columns that I would need. And I knitted a little piece, and then I'm going to duplicate. I haven't done the duplicate stitch yet, but I'm going to duplicate stitch over it. It took me a minute because I started knitting and then I was like, oh wait, I can't just do garter stitch for this to look the way I want to. I'm going to have to knit and then purl. So
Uh-huh.
I had to take out 3 rows and then go back and do it
Oh,
again. But I finally
baby.
got it. But knitting, for some reason, the way that I guess it's just the way that I hold my I guess it's just the way that I hold my needles. It's like I am doing just the most death grip with these
Okay,
last 3
you're
fingers
holding
here.
your needles like somebody in one of those commercials. It's like, "Oh, yes, I am knitting things."
If there's not yarn on the needles, I don't know how to hold them. Hang on, let me steal some yarn from something. Let me pick up the project that I literally just had in my hand because there is a yarn on there. I'm crocheting a border around it. Okay, let me figure out. Okay. So if I'm knitting, this is how I hold it, but this is how I hold my right hand. There's like a death grip with my pinky and ring finger for some reason. And so these 2 fingers, like these 2 fingers, and then like starting to go up my hand was cramping so bad. And so I was trying to figure out how to like loosen that grip. But if I loosen the grip, then I'm not holding on to the when I'm knitting, there's yarn down here. And so I'm not holding onto the yarn down there. And so it doesn't sit where I want it to. And it was cramping so bad. Because normally when I crochet, let me sit all that shenanigans down and pick up my
It
crochet hook.
just you
When I
just
crochet,
rested. You just rested.
but it's not resting. I have to hold it in place or it doesn't go where I need it to. But when I'm crocheting, I also hold it with this. But if these fingers start to cramp up, then I'll just crochet like this. I'll just lift the fingers up and crochet because nothing needs to sit here. Any loops
Mhm.
that I have are going to be up here. And so I can just do this and lift my pinky up like I'm a fancy person drinking tea and crochet, and it's fine. But when I'm knitting, it's death grip. And I don't know how to not death grip. And it made my hand hurt so bad for that one piece. That is 57 rows of 29 stitches.
Okay, so I'm
And my
trying
hand
to
was cramping so bad.
yeah, I was trying to look at
Like,
the equivalent and literally
yeah, I
mm,
was like, what do you do?
I'm trying to because when somebody talks about how they hold stuff, I can't picture it until I have the thing in my hand.
So while you're getting that, yes, it does look like that, Ronald, because that's what it's meant to look like because it's hilarious. I also have this other one.
Okay. Okay. So I
And in
just
case you wanted a different color, they're hilarious. I also have ones with swear words on them. Those are a little harder to read, but the shape ones, you can see what they are right away. Hilarious. Okay, what do you do with your hand?
okay. I can't see, so I
You're
hope
good.
you can see.
I can see you.
Okay.
So I see you holding it with your little fingies.
I'm binding off at the moment, so uh
It does, Ronald, because that's what it's meant to look like. Mommy suggested that I should make his and hers like bachelorette gifts or like wedding favors or something. Or I could make his and his
yeah,
and hers and
it
hers.
just
I can make a bunch of them.
rests. It just
It just
rests very
rests.
lightly in I'm not really gripping with this. It just rests right here because I'm just using these two to direct the needle.
I am gripping with the strength of my ancestors with these two fingers on my knitting needle. It is like my hand cramped up
No.
so bad.
No, that's not what you do. It just rests.
But it doesn't just rest is the problem.
But I mean, I get what you're saying. I think it's something that probably takes practice because I am trying to use chopsticks when I eat noodles and rice. When I eat Asian things, I'm trying to use chopsticks. And I I'm gonna sit you right there because I'll probably pull you back out. But my hand down here cramps when I use chopsticks. And even though I try to like not death grip them, my hand cramps when I use chopsticks. It just does.
My hand used to cramp when I use chopsticks until I realized I don't need to do literally anything with this lower half of my hand. I just need to move the top part. Gripping the stitches.
Yes, it's just
Gripping the
gripping, just
stitches.
gripping. Even I mean, even when I was just binding off there, that's why there was no stitches on that side. But even when there are stitches on that side, I'm not holding them because those are the stitches that are finished. So I don't
See,
need to hold them.
I must be doing something kind of funky because if I am not holding those stitches in place, then it feels like they are moving around to where they're not supposed to be. Like it's either slides up or slides down to where I don't need it to be, and so I'm like gripping them in place to the knitting needle.
Yeah, we'll have to look at that when we're together next time.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
figure
now
it out.
we're really done with yarny stuff this time.
Woo!
Okay.
Promise, cross our hearts.
On to gaming stuff. Do you have gaming stuff you want to talk about first?
Um, well, we can go over the one thing that both of us know, which is No Time to Relax, which is such a fun game. It's such a fun game. I love it so much. It's basically like the game of life, sort of. But oh, how did that get pulled over? No, never mind. It's basically like the game of life, sort of. You're basically like college students and you're hanging out in a dorm. The game literally starts with like a comic strip of like college students hanging out and playing board games in their dorm, and somebody busts in and they're like, "No time to relax." And so you start off with you're not college students, you like just got out of high school essentially, and so you're in an apartment and you have to and your parents are like not paying for your life anymore, I guess, whatever. So you have to go through and you can set you can have either like 4 weeks, 8 weeks, or 16 weeks, or there you can do like unlimited time frame to get as much stuff as you can. But you need to like get a job so that you can pay for your apartment, because if you don't pay rent, then the bank is going to start taking it out of your paychecks. And you can go to college so you can get a better job, but you also have to make sure that you get food, because if you don't get food, then you can't move as fast, you have less time. What is this Apple? I know this is a commercial. Okay. Oh, this is Stumped. Probably the only people that I have ever seen play this game. I've never seen anybody else play this game. But it's super fun. You can get a job at like the tech company or blah, blah, blah. But there's also like, you have to keep track of factors like if your clothes are getting worn down, you have to go buy new clothes, or your clothes will fall apart, and then you can't go to work if you don't have any clothes. And you want to, but if you don't take care of yourself, like your mental health, then you will start to move slower as well. And so you have to pay attention. I think that's the like smiley face that's down at the bottom of his little character over there. And so you have to like buy things for your house to make you feel better about your apartment. And then you need to like spend time. Like, if you spend time in your apartment, then you get little smiley face points. If you have more stuff in your apartment, you get more smiley face points per item that you have in your apartment. And then you can also do things like go on a trip or go see a baseball game or something like that. And so you're trying to keep up but you also need to keep up your like health because you could like go eat fast food every day, but then your health will decline. And then things will like not do very well, and then like you won't be able to do as much stuff. But the healthy food is expensive, and you have to, and to keep like to get regular groceries, you have to buy a refrigerator, which is like the most expensive thing in the game for no reason. Buying a refrigerator is so hard. It's so hard. But it's so fun. I love this game so much because you're also like competing with each other.
Yeah. Yeah. This has this is one of my favorite kind of games, which is a management game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Ronald, I have for the past two streams, I have been plugged into
Plugged
the
into the
box. The box. Not using
oh
Wi-Fi.
using the Ethernet
The
cord,
Ethernet. Ethernet, thank you. I've been using the Ethernet these past couple streams, and
and it's working a
it
lot
has
better.
been working better, I think. We haven't had any issues so far. So, um but now that you've mentioned it, I'm probably jinxing myself,
You jinxed it.
but so far it seems to be working okay. Um but yeah, this game is cuz it's basically a board game. That's why I hardly ever like recommend it to anybody, because it's like, well, it's a board game. Nobody's going to really enjoy playing this. It's like a,
I love this
you know,
game so much.
it's almost like a the board games we played as kids, like the game of life or something,
Mm-hmm.
where everything is based on luck pretty much. But I still enjoy it, because to me it feels like the management games that I like to play, where I want to try to max out everything. I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
first time I max out on this thing is when um I'll be done playing it. Like, if I ever play it and I actually max out on everything and buy my apartment and put all the furniture in and, get a good job and stuff like that, then it's like, okay, I'm done playing this game. But so far I have not done that. I have not tried playing it on the endless mode though, like by myself.
Yeah, endless
I
mode.
might.
You basically max out, or either it's whether you or the computer maxes out first if you're playing by yourself, or if you're
Mhm,
playing with people, then it's who I think it's just whoever maxes out all their stuff first.
mhm. But I mean, it takes a long time to do that. So I would not play other people trying to max out, but I would try playing it like against the AI to max
Give me a
out.
day and time. I would absolutely play this game with you to max out. I love this game so much.
Because I just like management games, because I like the challenge of, can I max out on this game? Can I get
Mm-hmm.
all the because I feel like I say that I've never finished the game, and in the past that was true, but no, I have now actually finished a few games, but I still get a feeling from that. um I don't know how to explain it. I just enjoy, if there is a scale, then I want to get to the end of the scale. If there are 15 characters to unlock in something, I want to unlock all 15 characters.
Mm-hmm.
If there,
You are,
that
how
just
they say, completionist.
completionist, achievement hunter, whatever you call it. I like that. That gives me a goal in the game. That's why I'm not really a sandbox game kind of person, because I like to have a goal. I like to
Mm-hmm.
know that I'm aiming toward this thing or that thing. So, but
Oh,
yeah,
and I meant to
this is a
mention
game that.
earlier.
Mhm.
Oh,
Go
I was gonna
ahead.
mention there. So when you play with people, so it is it's yeah, it's cross platform. So you can play with people. Like I have it on my Switch.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to
She's got it
mention.
on Steam. Yeah, so it is cross platform. Um
Mhm.
but everybody who plays it has to own a copy of the game.
Mhm.
And then when you're playing with people, then it's you have cooperative where there's no like you can't really harm anybody or do anything like that. And then there's competitive mode where there's an extra little shop that shows up with a little like witch lady, and you can like put a storm cloud over somebody's job so they can't go to work, or you can like put a plague upon the town, and so everybody like if you go to any of the places that have the plague on it, then you'll get sick and then you'll like lose time or whatever. So there's like regular like easy like working together mode, and then there's competitive mode where you can like mess with everybody.
Speaking of, I don't have this on the list, and but since you mentioned cooperative games, and this game is under $10 if I remember correctly. Um,
What you talking about?
no, I'm talking about
Oh, No Time to Relax. Yeah, it was like $7 last time I looked at it.
let's see. I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it's cheapy, which is how all of us own it. And we're able to play it together. And you can play either
Yeah.
with two devices, or you could play on one device and just pass the device around. Or I guess you don't have to pass the device around if it's a Switch up on the TV, but I have a Switch Lite, and so you have to pass it around. That's what we did on the
It
plane
is
down to the cruise.
currently. It is. Did you really? It
Yeah,
is
Chloe and I were playing
currently
No Time to Relax on the plane.
$13.99. Is $13.99 on Switch. I mean,
Oh,
not on
we must have got
Switch,
it on
on
sale
Steam.
on Steam.
It is
Yeah,
$13.99 on Steam. Yeah, I think I bought it on sale too because I know I would not have spent 30. You know me,
yeah,
my goal of $10 and under. I must have got it on sale too.
yeah. I
And
definitely
on
spent less than
Switch,
$10 on it.
it is come on Nintendo. Which I might buy this on Switch just cuz even though I have it on Steam, I'm searching
Hmm.
for things now that I have a Switch. I am searching for things to play on the Switch.
Hmm.
Which I guess I should add that to gaming news. I have a Switch. Uh, it's thirteen
Yeah,
ninety
y'all about to
nine on
have
Switch
switches
as well.
galore. Didn't Daddy just find another switch?
It's since when do you know about that?
Since when do I know about what? What? What?
Let's see. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to bring it up here. Um, come on, come on,
You jinxed it, Ronald. The technology
open
was
up.
working just fine. Jinxed.
Excuse me, but no, we know nothing about a second Switch.
Okay, even though you definitely mentioned it while we were on our phone call on Sunday for family game
I
night.
I think I was mistaken.
Okay, sure. Anyway, what are you bringing up? Who are you typing to? What's going on? I could go back to telling people about my dream.
No, we do not allow that.
It was
Um,
so
no,
crazy.
you were mentioning a cooperative game. So another
Yes.
cooperative game that
Is it
we,
playing
even though
game?
I didn't have it on my list, yes, it's not called playing game. It's called now boarding, which we it's on we played it on BGA. I can't find any video of anybody playing it on BGA, but we played it on
Hmm.
BGA.
And it was fun.
And it is all your flights to where they're supposed to be without any of your people, without having. I'm not explaining it well.
I can explain it, but you may need to take this video down after we get a view of the game because you are breaking up. Also, hi Ari. Okay, so you see the plane is cute. So you see the board is a map of America, and then you've got little plane pieces, and then you've got the marks for the airports like LAX, SFO, ATL, yada yada. Essentially, you pick what airport that you are aligned with. I usually am LAX because it's easier to get to places from there. It feels like, and because Charlotte's not an option. Um, Okay,
Well,
Ari
we're
said he's
glad to
going to be
have you
listening in and out.
listening, Ari. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we're having a fairly long stream today since I don't have to do anything. Um, but basically, um, you start the game, you pick which one you want to be aligned with. So, like, I align with LAX, mommy usually aligns with like ATL and yada yada. And then you start the game, and I guess in IRL, it would flip random cards. In BGA, you get customers that appear or passengers that appear at the airports. And so you have to pick up the passengers and take them to where they go. So, like, from LAX to JFK or whatever. But you have a certain number of seats in your plane. You can start off with either one seat and 4 speed, which is how many dots you can move across. You can just barely on the map there see the dots. You can have 1 seat and 4 speed, or you can have 3 seats, or sorry, 2 seats and 3 speed. So you can carry an extra person, but you can't move as far because you just pick your bonus at the beginning. And so you're trying to shuttle people across, but the people, the longer that they sit at an airport, the more upset they'll get. And if they get to level 4 of upset Karenness, then they'll go complain. And if your group that you're playing with has 3 complaints, game over. That is game over, end of game. The Karens have won. And so you have to shuttle these people around. But sometimes we
And
found
it
out
is
after. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say
It's
what was I gonna say?
cooperative.
It's not just the people in the airports, it's the people in your plane. And so
Yes. So at the end of the game, so there's oh, there we go. Now we can see on BDA, which is a lot clearer. So there's morning, afternoon, and evening. And in the morning there will be like a few people. In the afternoon there will be more people, and in the evening there will be even more people. And then by the end of the last evening round, for every 2 customers that you, or for every 2 passengers that you have left, you get 1 complaint. So 1 complaint per 2 passengers. And that's not just the people, what she was saying, that's not just the people in the airport, but that's also the people in your plane. Because we just played our last game on Sunday thinking, oh, if we can get all of these people, we've got only a few people in the airports and we've got all these people in our plane, so we should be good. No, we got so many complaints, but we got so close. That was the closest that we had been, because I think we got like, I want to say we had like 7 complaints, but that was actually pretty good considering how we did the last few times that we played the game. And so we are all kind of fighting the urge to just play the game again and again to try to beat it, because it is very fun. But it's a lot of like talking to each other, like, okay, I'll pick up this person in DFW. Can you pick
yeah,
up this person in LAX?
this is one of those games where BGA recommends. I've only seen a few games like this where you go on the thing to start your table, and BGA has that recommendation notice of, we strongly recommend you play this in real time and with audio. We have the audio thing because BGA does have an audio thing through their website. We've only tried to use it once or twice, and it didn't really work that well for us because we just do our Facebook
Facebook
Messenger
chat.
on the side and play that way, rather than make BGA chug along with the
Yeah.
game and with the audio and video at the same. Plus, with the video, you get little tiny circles of people's face, and with Facebook Messenger, I can put it over on my iPad on the side and see everybody much more
And have
clearly.
the whole
So
chat. Yeah.
and have the whole chat and stuff. But you see, I don't know if you can see up there near Seattle, there is, oh, well, they've already changed it now because they're in the phase right now where they are delivering their people. You can play this. I purposely picked a game where they do not have the timer on because that's how we play. It's called Flight Phase Timer, and you can have it on or off because the way the game goes is that you start off, you choose whether you are going to buy if you have money. It always gives you the choice, but sometimes, like the first round, you don't have any money, so you have nothing to pick. But you have the choices of either buying extra seats or buying extra speed, which means you can go one more step further on the route.
Hmm.
Um, and then once everybody goes through that um, phase, then everybody hits ready, and then that's the flight phase where you're actually delivering customers and picking up other customers. And I think it's something like 90 seconds or something
Which is
that you
insane.
which you have to deliver everybody and pick up who you're going to pick up and what have you. And so we just play without the timer because
Yeah, because it takes so much
we're
discussion.
family. Yeah, we're family, and we know that people are going to get up. Like this last session that we were playing, one of our people was in the middle of cooking dinner. Um, Sometimes, I'm an old lady. I got to get up and go to the bathroom. Um, Somebody's got to get up and let their dog out, just different
Mhm.
things. And so having the timer, we don't play any games with timers. That's right,
Yeah.
Ari, we're family. So we don't play any mi familia mi familia.
Ooh.
We don't play any games with timers because it's just it gives a headache. And even without we still find it a challenge even without the timer. You don't need to add the timer for us to still have a challenge because we still lost and we got really close, but we still had
We have
four
not won a
complaints.
game yet.
We still had four complaints, but like our previous games, we had like 8 complaints and I think 7 complaints
There
in
was one that
seven
I
and one and eight.
swear we had like 14 complaints. We had so many people because it was like I
So
think it was the
many
first
people.
time that we played. We had
Yeah,
so many people left.
so many people. So many people. And of course, my husband, he came in while we were playing this game the first night and he was like, my son was explaining everything to him and he's like, okay, so where's Charlotte? And
Where's the Charlotte
Charlotte
Airport?
is not on the map, and so he immediately lost interest because Charlotte is not on the map of airports.
Which,
But
yeah, which to be fair, Charlotte is a big airport. Charlotte should be
yeah,
on there. They need to update
hmm
this map.
they've got ATL, but they don't have Charlotte. They need to update it because Charlotte is an
Charlotte is
international airport.
huge.
Charlotte's an international airport, and that's not just international in name. They've got international flights coming in and out of that airport all the time, so it should
It
have been
might
on
as
the
well
map.
be a small town. It is
But
enormous.
But yeah, the only southern airports they've got on there are Atlanta and Miami. So, and Miami technically, depending who you talk to, Miami's not really the South. Miami's its own thing. But but yeah, so that's a game that we have enjoyed, and I bet we'll probably play at least one session of it
This
when we
Sunday.
get together this Sunday. I'm trying to pace them because I know I'm a person who gets tired of games really quickly, but they have already chastised me for saying you introduce us to games and then we never go back to those games. So I try to bring back in games that we've played before that everyone has enjoyed, but I because I mean it because I only pay $4 a month for this. It's almost like it's free to me. If we were actually having to buy physical board games, I do not understand the people who can buy all these physical board games. That would kill me. But
I
four
just want to
dollars a
come in
month
and
to try all
say,
the different games, that's fine.
Chloe, I need you to put up a graphic on the screen. Mommy math is $4 a month for board games is free. $4 one time for a pattern, $3,000.
Yes, that is Danny math. I'm sorry. Okay,
Crazy.
so that's 2 games that we have talked about. Any other games you've got on your mind?
Sure. What do I have on the list?
We still
Um,
that We Were Here Expeditions co-op game is still free. Today's the last day. I think I've
ooh,
downloaded it, but I don't know if anybody else has.
but that's on Steam.
It's on Steam. Yeah.
I don't think I could get my other laptop to even open Steam right now, which is a bummer. Because both of my laptops have been just chugging and trying to hang on. So I don't even think I can get it to open right now. I do want to check it out though. Maybe I'll just buy it
Oh, too
later.
bad.
Ooh, I have been playing Cult of the Lamb and I enjoy it a lot. I saw people playing Cult of the Lamb and I wanted to play it. And then Wayne got it for me on the
Uh,
Switch before
uh,
we went on the
uh,
cruise.
halt, halt.
What? Halt. Halt.
We Were Here Expeditions The Friendship is on Xbox.
Ooh, I can get my Xbox turned on. Okay, my Xbox is literally right under the TV. I will turn it on right after this. And is it free on Xbox?
It
Is it
says
on
it's
Game
free
Pass?
until the 13th.
Okay, so I need to try to download it then. I will do that, and then I can play it. I wonder if it's cross-platform though, right? It's like those games where you don't need to be connected playing together. You just talk, and the when you do something, then it affects it like
I'm
does
not
something.
sure
You can
because
tell them.
I haven't played it. I haven't played it, so I
Okay,
don't know. Is
remind
this
me when we
game
shut this
cross?
down to try to
Is
download it.
this game cross-play? I'm on the website right now. Yes, cross-play
Uh,
is available for all platforms. Test your friendship across any platform. Okay, so what other platform is this on? Okay, all I see is PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. Your brother has a PlayStation,
I
so
got the
we need to make sure he
Xbox.
gets it too.
Yeah, and then we can play it.
Okay. Okay, so I need to text him or something because I think he's already
He's
gone to
sleeping right
bed.
now. Yeah, because he and I are going to be watching movies later today, or watching a movie later today, so we
Okay, well
can
then
get that sorted out.
you tell him later then.
Yeah, well, we're watching it like later. It'll be like 10 p.m. at night, so we will try to get it sorted out. But anyway, moving on. And I will just download that on my Xbox so that we can play. I have
I
been
don't know if I've
playing.
got it on Steam yet, but I will try to remember to do it when we get done here.
Yeah, I'll try to remind you
You've
when we're
been
done.
you've been playing Cult of the Lamb.
I've been playing Cult of the Lamb. Wayne downloaded it on the Switch for me before we went on the cruise so that I would have a game that I could play in case I just didn't feel like going out and do anything or something to play like out on the deck or whatever. And I didn't play it much on the cruise, but I played a lot of it while I was sick with COVID. And then I didn't really pick it up again for a while. And then I would like last week after I finished all those amigurumis, I was like, I have some time. I did a bunch of amigurumis. Let me play some more Cult of the Lamb, and I played it for like fully hours. Like I just kept going and going because it is also a management game. And I was having a lot of fun. The very first time that I played it, because this is my second time starting the game because the very first time that I played it, I was having a hard time. Like my cultists kept getting hungry and I didn't have enough food and people kept dissenting and leaving and stealing all of my money and I didn't have enough wood for stuff and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized because there are two sections to that game. There is the section where where your cult is with your people and you have to manage them, make sure they're not hungry, make sure they have somewhere to sleep, make sure they've got and they can like cut down trees and get wood for you so you can like build better things for them, blah, 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 and make sure they're still like, I don't know, worshiping you and the monster god that you represent or whatever. So right there, that's where all your cultists are and everything. But then there's the god that you worship that like brought you back to life, who is like the one beneath or something. I can't remember his name. And then there's the four like disciples or something. I can't remember what they call them, like brotherhood or something, but they represent the religions above that are like that were the ones like the beginning of the game starts off with them trying to sacrifice you. They're like, we have sacrificed all of the other lambs, we've sacrificed all of your other kind. You're the last one. We're going to sacrifice you. And then that other guy is like, nah, dog, you working for me now. And so you are now going back into their lands to destroy these other like gods or whatever, and like and take over their area or something. I don't know. But the issue that I was having before was I was spending all of my time focusing on the management of the cultists, and I'm like, why am I having such a hard time? And I'm like, oh, I need to do more time going out and fighting all of this stuff, because the more time you spend going out fighting all the people and stuff, you can collect supplies and things like that, which help you back at the cult. And so I was like, I'm doing all these things at the cult and I don't have no money. I'm like, I gotta go fight. I really just want a management game. Turns out I gotta fight. But I'm enjoying it a lot.
Yeah,
It's
that
really cute. I'm
sounds
enjoying it a lot.
like that 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 sounds like another game on the list that another game that I didn't put on the list, but I see another comparison, which is
Which is
which is Lakeburg Legacies. People said that Lakeburg Legacies, you would get bored with Lakeburg Legacies because a lot of people got bored with Lakeburg Legacies, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to get bored. And I spent last week playing it a lot because I spent money on it. You know me. If I spent money on it, I need to just like with that hoodie I hadn't finished. I bought that yarn and I bought that pattern. I darn well better finish that hoodie.
mm-hmm.
And so because I just feel guilty about having spent the money and then not using the thing. Not
Yeah.
just if I spent money, if somebody gave me a gift and then I don't use it. Like every time your father buys me a sweater or something like that, I try to make sure that not only I wear it in his presence so he sees that I appreciate the thing that he bought me because
Yeah.
it just, I know how it feels on the reverse. If I buy you something and you don't ever use it, I feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to do that to somebody else. So I try to use the things. But it's the same thing with money I've spent on my own. I feel bad about I spent this money and I don't use the thing. So I was playing Lakeburg Legacies, and I unfortunately it's like other people, and I watched the video saying the same thing. Like you said, you want a management game, but turns out you gotta fight. I want a management game. Turns out these people keep getting divorced, and I gotta keep matching them up. I mean, I was hoping that at some point, some of these people, because when you hear the trailer about Lakeburg Legacies, they talk about how um oh, you'll have visitors that come into your town and start to romance your people, and what are you going to do, and blah 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 blah. No, no visitors come into your town. It's like you have to recruit people. It's not like they just
Ooh.
randomly show up, because I've played games where people just randomly show up,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to find houses for them and stuff like that. That's fine. But this is more like, oh, you know,
I worked hard to get you here. Now do something.
yeah, it's like you have to match everybody up, and then you get them a job and stuff, and that's fine. Once you get them in your village and you find the best jobs for people, I'm fine with that part. I'm fine with that part. But it's like then you have to try to keep them happy. Because part of the problem
Mm-hmm.
is if you pick people, because sometimes I want to just get to the management part. So I pick people that, okay, I know it says that y'all are a bad couple, but you're a farmer and I need a farmer. So come on and marry this chick. so you can get in my town so that I can have a
Mm-hmm.
farmer. And that's fine, but then, a few minutes later, which is, a few months later or a few years later in this game, because time goes like this, then they get
Yeah.
divorced because they didn't want to be together to begin with, so they get divorced because I didn't spend any of my hearts making them go on dates and give each other flowers and stuff. And sometimes I do that, and then they still, the hearts go down so fast that they get divorced anyway. Because if they're a good couple, then their hearts will stay up. You see those hearts up in the top left corner, and there's
Yeah.
like squares. Okay, they've got
Yeah.
two squares. They're still okay right now. But some people, they go down to half a square, and you can click,
Ooh.
click, 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 get them up to four squares, and then 5 minutes later, they're back down to half a square. They don't want to be together. Okay, but you have to pay like 2,000 hearts to make them divorce.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you got to wait for them to divorce on their own, which is fine. But then you got to find them. Then you got to build them a new house because they're divorced. They're not going to live together.
Y'all need to
And
work something out. Just mutually live in the same house. Y'all gotta work something out.
it's just I don't want to be bothered with trying to match these people up because I've learned, you know, how do I explain it? You know how you get notifications on your phone and you get that little red thing. And this has become a thing where people have developed a thing. Do I have one? Yeah, like on this, you can't see it, but
Ronald, this is Lakeburg Legacies.
like you see the red notification thingy.
Yep. The little three. Yep.
I've turned into one of those people where the notification thing bothers me and I have to go through all my apps and make sure all those notification things are gone. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I know it's nonsense. Like that 3, I know is there to remind me that I didn't take my meds earlier and that I plan to make soup for dinner later. I know what that's there for, but it's going to bother me to not take it off. You see what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
my phone's been
Well,
bothering me
Lakeburg,
since we've been here. Notifications just chilling there.
some people that red notification thing doesn't bother them. I'm a person where it does bother me. Okay? So you get this notification thing whenever there's anything wrong with your people. And the 3 things that
Mm-hmm.
can be wrong with your people are they are single, they are homeless, and they are unemployed. Okay.
Ooh,
So I take care of the homeless and I take care of the unemployment, but the single I could care less. Okay.
y'all need to sort that out.
So yeah, see, Ronald's like me. He can't stand notifications. He's got to get deal with them. I have a couple apps
Yeah.
where they give me notifications like Boost Mobile. I swear I'm so ready to go to Mint Mobile just because I can't stand their app. But Boost Mobile gives me notifications for no good reason, and I went in and just
Oh yeah, I
fixed
got
the
all that stuff
setting.
turned off.
Yeah, I fixed the setting to turn it off so it would just stop bothering me.
Because Boost
Wish
Mobile
you had
also like
what in
if you don't
Stardew
turn this
Valley? Oh, when your lover needs attention.
or just where they
Any
friggin' are, searching them up in the map, I have to remember
oh
like,
yeah,
oh, it's Monday. He's not at work. I gotta go
I'm gonna talk
somewhere.
about that on my next game. But
Okay.
yeah, this game I finally my current game, which I haven't gone back to see if this will work because I got sidetracked by a different game. But the game I finally changed the settings in Lakeburg Legacy because they have one where you can supposedly focus. They have the classic setting, which is
Mm-hmm.
half management game, half romance game. They have then they have the setting which is more business. I forget what they call it though, where supposedly it focuses more on the strategy game part, the management game part. It doesn't focus on the management game part enough. So now I have a game set where I have where I am not trying to match anybody up. I'm just recruiting
Ooh.
people for money. and I am
If you want love, you can find it on your own. That is not my job as your mayor.
exactly. And I have set it on the custom setting and I've set it on novice. And so far it's not bugging me so much about the romance. So hopefully
Hmm.
that's the setting that I can play in because I haven't even gotten all, you know me, completionist that I am. I want to unlock all the buildings and stuff. And I haven't been able to do that because all these people need to get romance. And it's not just the romance thing, it's the fact that time goes so fast because it goes over either like a 30-year, 75-year, 100-year, or endless. But the game says, well, don't play endless because it's kind of buggy. They put it in there, but then they tell you don't play it. So I tend to put it on 100-year, which means over 100 years, people are going to die. Okay. So then you got to get more people in no matter what.
Yeah.
And I tried marrying people off just so they would have babies so that I would have my population not because I can't get my
Hmm.
population over 50 people. I mean, I barely get my population to 35.
Yeah, I'm having that issue
So,
in Cult of the Land too. Of like, I'm trying to recruit these cultists, and y'all like I'm. So there are a few different ways you can recruit cultists. You can either go through the fighting section, and you saw that little kind of map of like the section or whatever. If you see a section
mhm,
with like a little person kneeling, that means there's someone that you can recruit there. So you can go and recruit a single person. Or you can wait and one
mm,
of your cultists will be like, there are these like harlots or something that need somewhere to go and they're being abandoned by the other gods. Can we recruit them? And I'm like, sure. So you get like maybe 3 people max from that. And sometimes there was one time where they did it and they're like, these elderly people need somewhere to
mm,
spend the rest of their days. And so if you recruit elderly people, once they get elderly, they stop wearing the normal cultist clothes and they wear like a white outfit and just hobble around with a cane and do nothing. Do literally nothing. And I'm like, you're not helping me. You're just taking up bed space and wandering around smiling at people. And then you can buy cultists once you get to a certain level though, because you can't do this at the beginning. Diet Georgia peach tea, Lipton. I need to get some more Lipton tea.
yeah, it's
But
not.
anyway,
I like the peach. I'm not so much a fan of the diet, but I got the diet because your father is dieting, and so we can share. If I get it
mm,
just myself, then I'm the only one drinking it because your brother doesn't drink tea either. So I got the diet, and it's not as good. I'd rather have the mixed berry diet or the citrus diet.
I need
Continue.
to try the I need to try the citrus diet because I've had the regular citrus. I haven't had the citrus diet. But yes, Ronald, forget those old people because they just wander around taking up space, eating food, pooping on the ground. If they don't clean up their own poop, it makes people sick and using up the outhouse. So I gotta go clean out the outhouse. And they're just fully taking up space until they collapse in the middle of town. And then all of a sudden, because there's a dead person in the middle of town, they like the sickness in town goes up. And so I've got to hurry up and get back there and clean up this dead person and get them into a burial pit. Like old people in that game are so much trouble. Or you can go
Well,
and
at
buy
least
a cultist.
at least in Lakeburg Legacies, people work until they fall over. Okay.
Capitalism.
They work every day until they fall over. Okay. And you can have couples go every direction, male, male, female, female, male, female, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody can have kids. It's not a biological thing. It's just the store brings everybody kids, no matter what your orientation. And the people the other tiresome thing though about the game is that not only is the dating thing tiresome, but I've kind of figured out how to speed through that. But the 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 cutscenes,
See?
the little cutscenes of, oh, this is what everybody talked about when the game first came out. It's like you'll be playing and playing, and all of a sudden a scene will pop up of, oh, this person and this person met in the tavern, but this person is married to somebody else over here. Are they going to date or are they going to do this? And then it'll show you,
Yeah.
you know, if they date 42. Listen at you. If they date, he's such a baby. Then then you get this many points and this many points for the town. But if they stay with their husband, then you get this different kind of points for your town or whatever, which is fine. But like they have the same, it feels like they have the same 7 cutscenes.
Uh huh.
And I have been through them all 3 times at least. So it's like I don't even read them anymore. I know what
You
the
know what's
best
going on.
outcome is. I know what the best outcome is for each cutscene. So it's like, oh, this is the one in the woods and he wants to eat the mushrooms. Don't eat the mushrooms because he'll hallucinate and bump his head. Click and
Mm-hmm.
keep stepping. So like all of that, I wish they're doing an update, a 1.5 update that's about to come out, and I
Okay, maybe
haven't
that'll
played it.
help.
I think the update already came out, but I haven't
Oh.
played it since the update. But I know that I downloaded a patch, but I haven't played it. But
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think it's really going to address this, but the fact that they're still doing updates, I hope they come up with an update where you just don't, just minimal dating. Okay. I want,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things I really like about this game, because I'm not good at building. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that they say you need a farm, you get enough resources to build the farm, and then you click build and they build the farm where the farm needs to go. I don't have to pick a place and pick how big it's going to be. I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I like to
Yeah, and make
manage
sure you're
like who needs to
optimizing where
work in
things
what
are.
buildings and stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
optimizing where everything is so that we can get enough resources to build the next thing. I like that part. But the building and the decorating, I that causes me anxiety because I never put anything in the right place. And then people get trapped in their bathroom because they can't open the door or something like
Not
that.
trapped in the potty. Let's see. Ronald
I
says, "Why does
just I'm no
Duolingo?"
good. That's why I stopped playing Sims.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Sims when it first came out back in the day, but
The first time I had one of my
man,
Sims die, that was it. That was when I stopped playing Sims because it stressed me out. Ronald says, "Why does Duolingo sometimes get such strange sentences? I will be a lion in my next life. I have 3 dogs that speak French."
I don't get
Duo,
any of those things. I've heard
Duo
people
is out
talk
here
about that.
living, playing
I
D and
never get
D.
strange Duolingo sentences. Never.
Really?
I no, I always get the common stuff that you get in a beginner um French, I mean not French, but a beginner language textbook like, my sister works in a quiet office. My brother works in a small restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
My mother is sometimes sad. And okay, see, you go. Okay, I know I'm not that far.
Oh goodness.
I
Maybe you
haven't
just got to
opened
get
up
real
my
far. Maybe once
Duolingo
you,
in vacation. So since
maybe once you hit
September. See, now I'm going to open
unit
it up, and now
50.
Duolingo is going to get all excited.
Not you
Duolingo is
gaslighting
going to get
Duo.
all excited because I haven't been paying any attention to them. Okay, quit blinking at me, Duo. It's so good to see you again. Haven't seen you for a while. Welcome back. Okay,
I really
whatever.
want them to do an
Harrison
update for
Ward's coming
Duolingo.
back.
I really want them to do an update for Duolingo where you open up the
You
app and
earned
Duo is like,
300 gems.
I want Duo to come out like, you? You're alive? I thought you had died. We had your funeral. And his Duo like sitting in a grave.
What would you like to learn? Keep learning Spanish or take a different course? Okay, the unit numbers. So you do it on on the computer, Ronald? Okay, we're gonna be live. I was gonna tell you about my other game, but let's do the
Ooh,
Duolingo.
I did Duolingo on the computer like one time.
What'd you say?
Oh, Ronald said
What'd you
he's
say, Maya?
both. Oh, I said I only did Duo on the computer like one time. I've done it all on my phone. And Ronald said that he uses both.
I
Have you
do it
played that island game with the
occasionally.
animals? What island game are you talking about, Ronald?
Is
What
he
is this
talking
island
about
game?
is he talking about Hello Kitty?
Hello Kitty Island Adventure. I would love if Ronald was actually talking about Hello
Okay.
Kitty Island
Let's
Adventure.
tell
That'd be hilarious.
Duolingo I'm going to keep learning Spanish. Ready for your review lesson? Let's get you caught up on Spanish. Not right now. I need to see where I left off. Okay, I know where my
Not now, Duo. I need to brag.
you're just too happy that I'm here. This says section 2 unit 6 is where I am.
On Switch. Oh, you're talking about Animal Crossing. Yeah, you're talking about Animal Crossing. I have Animal Crossing. I have Animal Crossing on my Switch. I got Animal Crossing like yeah, back when COVID first started. That's the whole reason that we got our Switch was so that I could play Animal Crossing. And I haven't played it recently because they updated it so that you can now have a farm on your land and you can like cook food. But I have my island set up a certain way, and now I don't know if I want to reset my game and start over with the farm, but then I'll lose all of my stuff. They are super passive aggressive when you come back after a long time. They're like, you haven't left your house in so long. And when you start the game again, you come out and your hair is all like messy and there's like roaches in your house. It's funny. Maybe I should play Animal
Okay, on the
Crossing.
computer it says I am on unit 6.
You've been
Yeah,
doing
and
Duolingo
on the phone it
forever.
says I'm
Unit
on section
6?
2 unit 6. Yeah, so it says the same thing on the computer. It says the same thing on the computer and on the phone. Section 2 unit 6. Section 2 is explorer, it says. So where is
You've been playing
Ronald? Ronaldo.
Yeah, I'm like, you've been playing Duolingo forever. It's surprising that you're only on Unit 6. I feel like I thought you were
Me?
much further than that.
How could I be much further?
Because you were doing Duolingo like nonstop for like a while. I just thought that you were further. Have I ever mentioned that I hate slip stitches? They're kind of the devil. Anybody who's like, oh,
Okay.
just slip stitch
Family
this row and then slip
online for
stitch into your
Switch?
slip
What is
stitches.
that? What is family online for
Oh,
Switch? What is that?
Ari and I'm part of Ari's family plan so that I can get online for Switch and play online with people. And so Ari has paid the bill, so now I can get online.
Well, isn't that kind of him? See how this
Yes.
family circle goes. See, these companies are trying to ruin our family circle plans that we got going by
They're trying to
saying
bring us down.
everybody's got to pay for their own account and have their own login. They're trying to ruin the family togetherness we got going. Okay, Ronald, what unit are you on, sir?
I thought Ronald said that he was on unit like
He
50
says he's on
something.
unit
Is that what I was?
59 or 58. Do they have that many units?
I mean, they must.
Well, they
Yeah, it is cheaper that way,
changed.
Ari.
Well, I know that they changed the way the thing is set up. 58. What section are you in? Because I'm only in section 2. What section are you in?
That's a lot of units. Ronald
Oh,
must be
he's
over
in
there talking about.
section 4, unit 22. That's where he is. Well, yeah,
That's still a lot.
they changed mine so it's the same on the computer and on the phone. And it said on when I pulled it up on the computer, it said we've moved you further along because we've updated your course. So I think they're trying to match the computer and the phone together.
Mm.
Um but yeah, you're way further than me, Ronald. I'm only section 2. But I think
Ronald over here talking about quantum physics.
Ronald does hours of practice a day. I do like my required 10 minutes so that Duolingo can get off my butt and
Ooh,
I keep stepping. I don't do so I really need to put more practice in. I say
I
need
need to
like,
open the app back
I'm
up.
like I'm trying to learn Spanish for a job or something, which I'm not. Oh, he's being pulled away to go to dinner. Have fun at dinner. Thanks for hanging with us, Ronald. We
Bye.
really appreciate it.
Have fun. When you come
Bye,
back next week, tell us what
Ronald.
you had for dinner. Bye.
Oh, Ronald loves to talk about food. He'll tell us what he had. Okay, so
Do you want to see the progress that
what
I've
was
been
I gonna
making on my
say?
hat?
Sure.
Making a
Let me
beanie.
close that. Wait a minute. Let me. What kind of beanie?
Just a crochet beanie.
Are you making a non-binary beanie?
No, I'm just making a beanie with this yarn that, oh, that's hot. It's sitting right next to my heater. I got this, oh, it's upside down and backwards.
It
I got
it's a
Karen,
Karen. There's a
Karen
glare. I
cinnamon,
can't see it. Karen.
Karen cinnamon swirl
It's
cake.
cinnamon swirl.
Yeah.
Why would you call that cinnamon
I
swirl? It's not cinnamon.
exactly. I think it's just the way that they've got the stripes is what they call it.
Uh-huh.
Because my
So call
my
it
other Karen
swirl, but
cake,
call it cinnamon is weird.
yeah. I thought for like half a second that it might be scented, which is why I just stuck my nose in it. I don't know. Who were you the one that was telling me about scented yarn? Who was telling me about scented yarn?
I don't know, it might have been
Some
me. But
somebody was talking to me about that.
yeah, Duo is still mad at me. I did not fool them by opening up the app. Look at
My
this.
opening the app and then closing it. Duo's mad.
Duo is not falling for that. Duo is not
Duo is
falling for that.
doing the
Okay,
most.
but the reason I know the reason I did not get much knitting done this week is because I spent my reading time and my
Not your reading
relaxing
time.
after work time. Yes, my before work reading time and my after work relaxing time playing this new game that came out on and when you see it you're going to be like, I cannot believe you're playing that
I am
because
wondering. Also, Ari, no, I have not touched that red yarn. I know where it is though. It's in this box right next to me. I found it whenever I brought it with me when we moved. I could have left it at that house. That nasty red yarn.
because this is not my art style at all.
Oh no, I
This is
wonder what it
not my art
is.
style at all. So you're going to look at this and go, why is she playing this?
Is it a pixel game? I bet it's a chunky pixel game.
Look at it. Does it not
Oh
look
my
like a pixel
god.
game?
It does, but what is this?
It is an Apple Arcade game called Japanese Rural Life Adventure.
Okay.
It is it is it looks like Stardew Valley. So why I
It
would
does
be
look a
playing
little.
this game cuz pixel art is not my thing. So
Yeah.
why I would be playing this game is beyond me. Yet I have been sucked into this game and I have played it for the last 3 mornings.
Ooh.
Last 3 or 4 mornings. It came out in September apparently, like September
Uh
19th
huh.
or something. I didn't see it on um my Apple Arcade until like 2 weeks ago, so maybe like beginning of October.
Mm-hmm.
But and I looked at that and I went, "Oh, that's pixel art now." And I kept stepping.
Then what
But
made you
then,
download it?
partly because I'm paying for Apple Arcade. The 4.99 for Apple Arcade came out of my account again, and I was like, "What Apple Arcade games am I playing? Let me play something." And
Remember,
I could have
folks, $4 for a pattern, $3,000. $4 for game, that's free, baby.
so I was like, I let me just take a look at this. And it's hooked me. It's hooked me in the same way that one of the other games that I play on Apple Arcade, which is Farmside. I was playing that almost every morning for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, I need to put this aside and play something else. I am not
Hmm.
paying $4.99 on a month for this service for just one game. I need to try the other games. I need to at least try them. That was the whole purpose of me paying the $5 a month subscription, was to try different games and not just stick with one. And because I can, when it comes to games, I can get in a rut. I mean, Hello Merge Mansion, which I'm still playing, and I think I've been playing that for. I feel like I've been playing it for 4 years.
Years.
I swear I feel like I've been playing that since before the pandemic. To be honest, I don't know how
That and
long
that
that
llama
game's been
game.
out. I don't know how long that game's been out, but I feel like I've been playing it forever.
It feels like you've been
But
playing it forever.
I play it every day. Hardly a day goes by that I do not play that game. But But anyway, this is a game basically where you are you don't get to customize your person at all, which makes sense to me. I heard people say, "Well, I wish I could customize my person." Why? He's five dots on the screen. You can't see him anyway. Why do you care?
But what if I
But
want one of those dots to be purple?
I just
What if
don't
I
get
need
the
that
I
dot
don't
to be
I just don't
purple?
get the purpose. Like, I customize my person on Stardew Valley, but it's like you can barely see them. So why? Why?
Because.
If it was I can understand people who were upset about not being able to customize. um I can't remember her name now. I want to say Tara, but I don't know if that's her name, on Wildflowers. The lead character on Wildflowers. Why can't I customize it? Why can't I change her name? And then they changed it to where you put outfits on her. And I understand that though, because that art style is graphic enough where you can see what they're wearing and whatever.
Hmm.
But that's enough, because I said I only want to talk about this game as long as this video was running, and this is a 5 minute video and it's almost over. So let me describe this game to you. It is basically a you move to Japan. I don't know if this character is American, but I think they are, because everything in the game, they are describing, like, every time you do something, they give you a little history tidbit of, in Japan we hang this up for New Year's to ward off the bad spirits or whatever. They give you all the
Oh,
Japanese names,
cute.
they give you the little Japanese history, all of that
Uh
kind of
huh.
stuff. Like, the little ritual that you do at the Shinto temple is an actual ritual you do at the Shinto temple. It's not just a sequence they made up for the game.
Okay.
So what I like about this versus, okay, that's the end. So let me take it off
Oh,
the screen. What
so
I
finish
like
that last
about
thought and then we're done.
this, what I like about this versus Stardew Valley, because I know, if I was looking at, if the situation was reversed, I would go, "Why are you playing this when you don't play Stardew Valley and when you don't like pixel art?" I'll be honest, pixel art's not my favorite thing, but I can put up with pixel art if the gameplay is compelling to me, if the gameplay is addicting to me, and that the
Hmm.
gameplay is just compelling enough in that management style way that it appeals to me. Because, like, with Stardew Valley, the first thing they pretty much have you do is run all over creation and try to find all of the people in town and say hello to them before you get your next task. And if you can't find the people,
Ooh,
it's just
that is a
frustrating.
silly mission. I don't like that. That is a silly mission that I do not like. Is the opening because the people are constantly
It's
moving through town, so you've got to search everywhere to try to find them. It's annoying.
this game opens up slowly, which is something else, which is something that Wildflowers, I didn't think about that till I said it just now. Wildflowers did the same thing, where you had these few areas, and then after you completed some stuff, then more of the map opens up. and then you
Hmm.
complete some more stuff and more of the map opens up. I like that gameplay better because it is less overwhelming for me.
Yeah.
Whereas Stardew Valley, it feels like what's already open from the beginning is way too big, and I feel like I am running all over creation to try these people. I haven't gotten any further than trying to find these people in Stardew Valley, even though I had it on my iPad. I thought, okay, at least if I have it on my iPad, it's touchscreen. I can, but my fingers got tired just running all over the map on Stardew Valley. This game, they start you on you're a person who has moved to Japan because you want to live a quieter life. It's not like your grandpa died or nothing like that. Is which I appreciate that number one. Cause the whole grandpa or grandma died trope is getting old. I'd like another reason for why somebody moved to a town.
Not you
So,
calling out all these games.
well, it's getting old, and other people have commented on that too. I'm not the first one. This is not an original thought. I'm not the first one to come up with that. Other people have said that as well. It's getting old. So,
Hmm.
but you move to town, you and it's like you want to experience this life, and the landlord is like, well, people have moved here before, but I don't know if I'm going to let you stay. Let me see how you treat the land first. And so then you have to, so all you are doing is your little area right there where the house is. So you're cleaning up the weeds and you're hoeing your plot to plant your seeds and all this other stuff. So you
Yeah.
just all of your tasks are right there on your land. The other thing I like is that you get the whole list of what the events are from day dot. It's right there. The whole list is there, and you can do it in any order you want to. Now there are some things like I made a decoration for my little room, but and it turns out it's a decoration that's meant for a certain time of year, so I can only put it up in December. So I put that back in my storage and don't worry about it. There's no
Hmm.
limitation to the storage as far as I can tell because I haven't hit a
That's cool.
limitation yet. So I can just keep picking up wood whenever I want to. Okay. The wood, the different resources like the wood and the berries, they always respawn back in the same spot. So, like, there's three or four places where the berries are, there's three or four places where the fallen logs are that you chop up. And you just
Hmm.
go back to those things and
So
chop
you
more
don't have to go
logs.
searching for them.
You know where they are, and you go back to them. And so there's not much of a time limit. Like I said, there's certain things that are certain times of the year because of holidays or festivals or whatever. And each
Hmm.
month seems to last like 3 days, I think, either 2 days or 3 days. I still can't find the
Hmm.
calendar in the game. So there's a lot more to the game than you think because I thought, oh, I've already met all the people, but no, there's still more people to meet. I just haven't like unlocked some sort of mechanic to make these other people come around. So that's
Okay.
what I'm working on now because I was just working on getting my whole farm done, and I've pretty much got everything around my farm that I can get done. Like I've built my ice house, I've built my well, I built the place to dry the fruit, different things like that. So now I'm trying to venture out. And the only frustrating thing so far is that you're supposed to write a postcard to people at the beginning of the new year. So I went to the store to buy a pen to buy a postcard. $400 for a pen.
Ooh, 400 yen?
I had to pay well 400 as Geek Cupboard likes to say, since he never knows what country the game was made in. He always says 400 monies because he
400
doesn't know
monies.
what country whatever game is he's playing in. So it's like 400 monies. So yes, 400 monies. I had to pay 300 monies to hire somebody to move um the big tree that fell that was blocking the Shinto temple, and that made sense to me. You're paying $300 for a professional to come move this fallen tree,
What is
but
that pen made
four
of?
hundred
That pen
dollars
costs
for a
more than a logger?
pen. No, I'm not paying four
Oh
hundred
my
dollars for a
lord.
pen. So I just did not send a postcard. I'm like, sending a postcard is gonna be the last thing I do, maybe in year 3. 'Cause right now I'm in year 2.
Yeah, it
I
frustrates
meant
me when games don't seem like they've got the money economy down properly for what things should cost.
yes. Yes. Yes, exactly. It's like, like you pay 10 monies for 9 seeds to plant, you know, but then you want me to send 400 monies for a pen? That's ridiculous. While she's on the phone, I am vamping. Another thing that I have been doing is trying to find um I've been finding fitness games for my Switch because I've been trying to find things to do with my Switch. And I thought, well, maybe I'll find some fitness games for the Switch. There's this game called Baila Latino that is $10. I haven't watched this review yet, but I've heard that this guy seems to think that it's a good game. There's not hardly anybody has reviewed this game. It's pretty much a dance game, but it's all Latin music. And so I thought, well, I could try this. I like dancing. I don't want to spend $40 for the Zumba game or some of these other games. I wish it had a free demo. It doesn't, but it is $10. So, I might just spend the $10 if this review is good. But um I have downloaded free demos for some of the other fitness games like there's fitness boxing and fitness boxing 2, and there is like something called fitness circuit, and I remember liking those kind of games when we had them on the Wii. I like anything where you gamify exercise. And so I thought I will try some of these demos on the Wii and see how I feel about them. Are you back with us, Artemis?
I am. We were just sorting out rides for today because I still have to go pick both of them up later.
Okay, so we need to be wrapping this up.
I mean, we don't have to. I am a little tired though, and I might need some more food. I ate those chicken tenders earlier, but I'm still hungry.
Okay, do you have any other games that you want to talk about?
Ow. Oh
Oh, the only
goodness.
other thing
Not
I want to
today.
say about Japanese World Life Adventure, it is only on Apple Arcade. And one thing I
Ooh.
have realized is that even though Apple itself, as far as the iPhone and the iPad and stuff, are really popular devices that a lot of people have, Apple Arcade apparently is not popular because every time something is Apple Arcade only, I can't find any reviews of it. Like when
Mm-hmm.
Wildflowers came out, nobody heard of it. But then when Wildflowers came out for PC and for Switch,
Mm-hmm.
then all of a sudden everybody's like, "Oh, this new game that this is not a new game. This game's been out for a year. I already started and finished this game. It's new to you." It's not. Every
Mm-hmm.
time I heard somebody saying that, I was like, it's not a new game." But they act like Apple
You should
Arcade did
start
not
doing.
exist.
You should start doing reviews of Apple Arcade games on your TikTok.
It's like it did not. Well, I would, except I'm not good at reviewing. You see how halting my speech has become because I lose my train of thought, and also I don't know how to put the things up on the things.
Oh, I can show you how to do that.
Even though I was the tech person in our family, I think my tech expertise stopped at a level, and now my brain has just gotten tired and said I can't do no more.
Ari,
Yes,
I need you
Maya
to
is
stop talking
always tired.
smack. I need both of y'all to stop talking smack. I am just a sleepy person. There's nothing I can do
I
about
know.
that.
We love you. We love you.
Yeah, I'm gonna eat and
But
maybe
well,
take a
I
nap.
just yeah, so let me just knock these out. But yeah, Apple Arcade, if it's on Apple Arcade only, people don't hear about it. But if it ever comes to Switch or PC or Android or whatever, I bet you'll
Then
hear about
everybody's
it
gonna be talking
then.
about it.
Everybody will be talking about it. Because you know how people these days seem to love pixel art.
Mm-hmm.
So I still don't understand why. But the only other thing, and this is on Apple Arcade and Steam, we've mentioned
Two.
it before, but I was playing, I'm only going to throw this out there briefly. Um, Outlanders,
Mm.
because I was we haven't hit this gaming list since before vacation. So Outlanders is
Nope.
kind of an
I don't
old
remember
one.
what this is.
I went through a whole Outlanders thing. We've played Outlanders before, but I mean we've talked about Outlanders before, but what am I trying to say?
I have no clue. What are you trying to say?
I don't know.
So about
But
that dream I had.
it shush. It was on um it was another game that was on Apple Arcade like when Apple Arcade first came out. So it's been on there for a long time. Um
Mm-hmm.
but the gnats are back. I need to get a new bowl.
Oh no.
It's another management game. It's another
Okay.
management game where they've added more storyline campaigns to it, but it's pretty much a
Oh,
management
I remember
game.
this now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had to
where
see it. I remember now.
you have to chop down the trees and then let's move it ahead a little bit. You have to chop down the trees and see this is the kind of game where I want more of this in Lakeburg Legacies. Where
Mm-hmm.
I stress out in this game is that figuring out where to set my things and watching this is going to
Mm-hmm.
make me want to go back and play some of this later. But playing this is where I know Ari, you're going to miss us. Um but because I have to figure out okay where to place the buildings and sometimes I don't place the buildings in the best places and in this game you can't pick up a building and just move it. You have to
Ooh.
recycle all the materials and then rebuild the building somewhere else, which means you have to
Cult of the
wait for the
Lamb doesn't even do
people to
that.
have time to go build the building, to
No.
rebuild the building. And so that's the one thing that frustrates me about this game, but otherwise when you start off in this game, everything has like a scenario. Like, we were shipwrecked on this island, and so we need to try to build houses for 10 people. And there's a
Mm-hmm.
certain time limit to get houses for 10 people and enough food for 10 people, or houses for 10 people and 50 logs built up. Or there's
Mm-hmm.
always like an objective, which makes it my kind of game because I like to have an objective. And the
Yeah.
people just start moving around. Like you assign two people to the farm, two people to the wood thing, you know, two people to the bakery to bake in the later because you start out where you just have like the wood cutting and the fruit gathering. And then in later
Mm-hmm.
scenarios, it's like, okay, now we've got a sawmill to turn that wood into planks to build nicer houses. So then you have to assign more people to those things. So there's different buildings that become available as you finish different scenarios. And
Yeah.
then they added something in one of their updates where there's something called the Chronicles, where it's several scenarios built together based on one person or one town or whatever. I haven't
Ooh.
played any of the Chronicles yet because I had to work through all of the beginning scenarios first.
Yeah.
So I'm just now at the level where I can play one of the Chronicles, but I haven't played it yet because by the time I got to that level, I kind of got distracted into a different game. Or maybe it was we were going on vacation and that's what it was. We went on vacation and I was going to
Yeah,
play
because
it on
this was
vacation.
on the
I had
list
it.
before vacation.
Yeah, so I was going to play it on vacation and then I didn't play it on vacation and I never went back to it when we came back. So I'll probably need to go back to it and try the Chronicles part and let y'all know how I feel about it. But this is a good management game because once you assign the people to the town, then the people go do what they need to go do. You know,
Hmm.
you
You don't
assign
have to
them to
deal with
gather
it
fruit.
really.
Yeah, you assign them to gather fruit and then they gather fruit. You don't have to deal with um you don't have to deal with people dying. There are babies that are born.
Hmm.
And no, I take that back. People do die in this game. People do die in this game. If you don't have enough food, people die. And if you don't
Yeah.
have enough housing, people die. But the time doesn't move so fast that you're going because like in Lakeburg
That it's hard to
Legacies,
keep up with.
yeah, in Lakeburg Legacies, it's like over the span of 100 years. So people just die of old age because they're 90 years old. Okay. In this game, it's like over a span of 30 days, you need to get these houses built up.
Hmm.
Or over a span of 90 days, you need to build up enough bread in the storehouse or something like that. So you're not going over somebody's lifespan. So as long as you make sure there's enough food in storage and everybody has a house, nobody's going to die. But
Okay.
babies will be born. I don't know how babies are born in 30 days, but babies will
Yeah,
be
I was like,
born. Babies will be born, but nobody's going to die as long as there's plenty of food.
those
So
people must be showing up to you pregnant already in
you're
month
not going to
9.
lose yeah, you're not going to lose your workers due to death, which you do in Lakeburg Legacies all the time. You're constantly
Hmm.
losing workers due to death. And then you got to try to marry off people so you can get more people into the town. I just wish people would just walk into the town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe
But
they'll
yeah,
listen to
this is
some of what people are saying and they'll update the Lakeburg Legacies a bit more since they're still
yeah.
doing updates on it.
Yeah, I also need to get back. They've done an update on Storyteller, the game you bought me for Mother's Day, and I need to get
Did
back to
they?
that as well. Yeah, they did an update where like some of the scenarios that were in the free demo that they offered before they were out, you know, full release, those
Hmm.
scenarios never actually made it into the game. So now they've turned
Oh,
those scenarios into full levels and added them into the game. They've also some of the early scenarios that you've already finished, they've added more to those levels to
to get like
so
bonus
you can
points.
so that you can replay them. It's like the devil comes in and adds some other stuff.
Oh, nice.
And
Yeah,
I
because I was
there
worried that
is
that game wouldn't have
um
very much like replayability at all. But it sounds so interesting. It looks interesting. I
mhm,
watched somebody play all the way through it, but I really do
mhm.
want to play it. So
I
hearing that they're
haven't
adding
made
more
it all
levels
the way
sounds fun.
through because I was playing it and I got stuck in a place and I was like, well, let me look up how
Oh
to get
yeah.
off of this one level and
Well, you and
then
I
I
need
will
to get together so I
continue
can
playing.
watch you
But
play
I
it and I can
didn't.
help.
Yeah, because again, for those watching who don't know, we tend to play. Um,
Single
I
player
have
games.
developed developed a play style where I play together with the children. So now it's gotten to a point where if I get stuck, to be honest, it was like that before because way back in the day, before mine was born, when I played Mist, I've told this story before, but when I played Mist, I bought a book, a physical book from the actual bookstore before Amazon existed, from the actual bookstore in town that had photos of all the different levels. And because this was before you could go on the internet and get, this was before
Oh,
you could go on the internet and get game
tutorials and
guides to
walkthroughs.
walk you through how to get off, get off a certain level or whatever. I bought a book because I early on I firmly believed in, there's no enjoyment in a game if you get stuck and you get frustrated. I
Hmm.
would rather, I mean, I don't want a full on cheat code like people would get cheat codes in The Sims to where they start out the game in $1 million and could buy anything they wanted to. I don't want a full on cheat code like that. But I am not above looking up how to get past this puzzle and that puzzle so that I can move on to the next level.
Hmm.
Because a lot of these games, you would think that games are like evenly where it's like easy, 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 and then it ramps up evenly. But games don't often ramp
Sometimes it
up
absolutely
evenly.
does not.
Sometimes there'll be a game where like you get to a part and this puzzle is way up here, and then as soon as you finish that puzzle, then you come
The
back
next one
down
is so
here
easy.
and you can finish and you can figure out the next five puzzles after that. It's like, why'd you put that really hard puzzle in the middle? And then
Yes, stuff like that makes me so angry.
and sometimes it's not that the puzzle is unusually hard for the middle of the game. Sometimes it's just life experience because a lot of these puzzles depend on you knowing a certain kind of thing, a certain kind of math, or a certain, you've read this certain book, so you would know what this quote means, or,
Hmm.
different kinds of things like that. And if you haven't read the book or you're not good at math, you're just not going to get that part. But then
Exactly.
the next puzzle is like, oh, this reminds me of when I knit that thing, so I know how to make that go through that. You know, so it's just different. Is different. Some puzzles just click with you different because of your life experience, not because it's
Hmm.
especially hard. It's hard for you because of your life experience or lack thereof. So I'm not above looking up how to get through that so that I can, because I
Yeah,
know that this is, life is too short. There are too many games. I have so many games calling my name. So many books
exactly.
calling my name. So
Play the
many
fun parts and
projects.
skip the ones that aren't.
Really, so many projects calling my name that, if I knit this one sock and it satisfied my desire to figure out how to knit a sock flat and I don't knit the other sock to go with it, oh well. I got the
Hmm.
satisfaction of knitting the sock. I enjoyed knitting the one sock. I don't need to knit the other sock if I really don't want to,
Yeah,
because I got the experience of knitting the sock. So, whatever. Okay, so it sounds like you are tired.
I am tired. I
And
am
we
tired.
have
I'm
we
tired of this hat.
have
I don't know
some,
why I started this hat.
just
I should
because
have
you
made
wanted
an amigurumi or something.
something to do while you were sitting there, and it's something easy that you can finish while you're sitting there. Because the
I'm about
only
halfway
reason,
through.
because trust me, I have my knitting sitting right over here to the left of me, and I am very tempted to pick it up. But as we discovered earlier,
You
I
cannot knit
I
and
really
talk.
I really can't do it. Normally I can knit and talk, or I used to back in the day be able to knit and talk, but there's something about trying to sound coherent for this video and
Hmm.
knitting at the same time that is just, it's too
Yeah,
much.
that's
If
why I
we
chose
if
something
we were if
mindless.
we
Like
were
I'm
sitting
not doing a pattern or anything.
if we were sitting in person and I was knitting, I could talk because I don't have the pressure of trying to, I feel the
To
added
talk to you
pressure of,
people.
I feel the added pressure of trying to sound like an intelligent person on this video, and trying to do that and knit at the same time sometimes gets the better of me. So,
Meanwhile, I'll just sit over here and sound like a silly old goof and not even care.
whatever. Your TikTok video, by the way, that was funny.
Goat man.
That
Children
goat
will come
man.
here and tell tales of me.
That the just the way you were acting was that was funny.
I love that soundbite so much because I watched the video that soundbite came from because that's from Shane and Ryan Bergara, their like ghost hunting show, which I used to watch a lot more. I'm still subscribed to it on YouTube, but I haven't watched it in a while. But I watched the video that clip came from, and it's like they are not nearly as like hyped up as that. But I was like, this is gonna be funny.
It was funny the way you were moving and dancing around. It was funny.
Yeah, I
It
love that
was
soundbite
funny.
so much.
Okay, people, we need to let her rest because she has a hard life.
And a market tomorrow.
Her life's not that hard, but yes, she does have market tomorrow. She needs to try to
No,
get.
tell the people I have a hard life. Pity, pity. Send me money.
You don't need pity and you don't need money, but
Buy
thank
my
you.
things.
Thank you for hanging out with us, joining us for this Friday Coffee Clatch. We appreciate your company. Even if you didn't hang out with us while we were live, if you watched the video later, that's cool too. Matter of fact, if you're watching the video later, we would really appreciate if you would leave us a comment in the video so we know that somebody's watching it. Um,
Leave leave a
if you've made it this
what
far,
emojis are there? Leave a bride and groom or a groom and groom or a bride and bride for those washcloths that I showed earlier.
yes,
If you know,
yes.
you know.
Yes. If you made it this far, leave a married couple
Thank you.
in
That is the much easier way to say that instead of bride and
yes.
groom and groom.
Leave a married couple in our comments. So, thank you, Ari. You have a good weekend as well.
Bye, Ari. We will talk to you later.
But yes, leave a married couple in the comments if you are watching, if you've gotten this far and you are watching us later after the live stream, watching us on the on demand video. We appreciate it. If you want to keep up with our madness, you can hit the like button if you like this particular video, subscribe if you want more videos or want to be alerted, smash that bell, I guess it is, if you want to be alerted the next time a live stream comes up.
And
We
share it with a
appreciate
friend.
Share it with a friend. There are more people. I know there are more people that want background sound because I'm hearing more YouTubers and TikTokers say, "Hey, I'm here just to be your ambiance."
In one of the discords I'm in, they have a co-working channel for people to just sit and like have other people working at the same time on a video chat, but not necessarily saying anything.
Hmm. Yeah, there are on YouTube there are reading sprint videos where people sit. It's a live stream where you see them sit for 30 minutes and you just see them all sitting in their own houses reading their book. And then after the 30-minute timer goes off or the 1 hour timer goes off, then they say, "Oh, I've gotten to chapter such and such in this book and I don't like what my hero's doing or this or that and the other." They comment a little bit on their book, then they set the timer again for another 30, 45 minutes, whatever. And then if you come in the middle of one of those, you're like, what are these people doing?
I would
Everybody's
not
just
be able
sitting
to
there
do one of
quietly.
those because I would be reading and something would happen and I'd be like, guys, I know the 30 minutes isn't up, but I really got to talk about this. Somebody just died and it's really blowing my mind right now. I really need to talk. I would not be able to sit for the full 30 minutes if something happened.
Crazy, crazy. But yeah, so I know that or I feel like this is a growing niche. I know several years ago the mukbang bang thing in Asia of people eating together was a thing. And that never
Mm-hmm.
really took off very well here in the States. But I know people like to have the lo-fi sounds going in the background, or they run a video in the background. I know for my personal self, if I am like taking a break from work because I'm getting really sleepy, but it's like my body is getting sleepy, but my mind is still kind of awake. I turn on
Mm-hmm.
the Geek Cupboard because I like his voice. Even if he's talking about a game that I have no interest in, I like his
Mm-hmm.
voice. So I'll just turn on one of his games that he's playing that I'm really not interested in. So I'm not tempted to open my eyes, but I'll listen to him talking. And while I lay down and take a short nap and then
I don't
get
think we're
up.
quiet enough for naps. And
Oh,
by we,
no,
I mean me. I am not quiet enough for
no.
naps.
No, we are not.
Sorry.
This is not a podcast. I mean, or a video that I would turn on myself if I was trying to fall asleep. This is not the one because we have too many moments in the middle where we're just yelling and things like that. So I
Hmm.
would not recommend us for anybody getting ready to take a nap. Okay.
But if you need to chop some onions and you just need something up and you can't use your hands because they're covered in onion juice, we're here.
Yep, you just need something that's going to be you're going to be in the kitchen a while and your hands are not free. So you need something where you don't feel like you have to change the video every 30 minutes. We got you cuz
We
we are
got you
always here longer than 30 minutes. So
every
so
time, at
so
least
there's
an
that.
hour.
So there's that. But yeah, if you enjoy our variety of background sound, then subscribe and come check us out next week. So have a good weekend, y'all.
Bye. Wish me luck at the
Bye.
farmer's market tomorrow.
Luck at the farmers market tomorrow.
I may not finish this hat.